This episode of Off My Shelf contains coarse language and adult conversation. Listener discretion is advised. Hello, my name is Tracy James and welcome to Off My Shelf, a podcast about movies that are, well, off my shelf, where we go through my DVDs and talk about the movies in my collection. In this episode, Adam Upper joins me in talking about monsters and ghouls with The Monster Squad and Monsters, Inc. Welcome!
Hey, how's it going? Scare.
Yeah, this is like, I know it's a little early, but it's kind of like a good Halloween episode because it is, monsters and monsters.
So I think that's probably why I chose it, because it was closest to Halloween and stuff. And my other episode that I kind of wanted to do was already taken, so I'm like, I might as well go for this one. So why not?
I know. Usually you come on for the Kevin Smith episodes.
Yeah. Yes.
Unfortunately, you missed the last one, but. Did you want to make a comment about Mallrats before we get into this?
I think my only thing what I probably would have added to it was, like, I think for one of the years, like in high school, like that's probably when I started drinking and like hanging out with the other people you drink with and stuff. And like I had the one New Year's, we were at the one guy's house and we can drink out. We ended up watching Mallrats, and we all kind of bonded over that, especially me and this one friend. And then in the yearbook, like I think that year I did like Snoochie Boochies or something like that in it because of Mallrats and stuff. So
Snoochie Boochies, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I think I mentioned on that episode too that Mallrats was my first Kevin Smith episode, first Kevin Smith movie. Sorry.
Yes, same here yet.
Yeah, so it was like my introduction to the world, and I was like, we can do this in movies. I'm down for this.
Because my parents used to rent like a ton of movies and stuff, and so we would have seen like them in order with like Mallrats, and then Chasing Amy, Dogma, and then I went to go see Jay and Silent Bob in the theater because I think it was one of the first dates with my then girlfriend or whatever. Yeah, I think it was always funny because it was like me and like two other people in the theater like laughing at all the jokes because I was like didn't really realize that I think that was my really first introduction to like a movie universe. So I think with that movie, kind of realized that, it is actually connected instead of just coincidentally these guys, being peppered in, being Jay and Silent Bob and stuff. And then really all the inside jokes and stuff, especially with the Ben Affleck at that one side, he was like, days like today, I miss dating a lesbian.
Yeah.
It goes back to Chasing Amy and stuff. Yeah. So like stuff like that. And being, like I said, two other people in the theater, like laughing at all the jokes. And probably most people didn't realize that or whatever. Probably hadn't seen most of them.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing I always find weird when you go see movies when, like, it's a joke and you laugh at the joke, but nobody else in the theater, or like only one other person who's like, you're probably like your soulmate because they get that joke too,
Yeah. And then I think it was after that is when I finally went back to see the OG Clerks, because I think I knew the joke, like I'm not so speaker thing. I knew that as a reference to the movie, but I actually hadn't seen it. But so I finally went back and saw that. I'm like, just a closed loop. Yeah,
I think I saw Clerks a little early because I think I saw Mallrats and Chasing Amy. Then I saw Clerks.
Oh, nice.
And then I saw Dogma, because Dogma I think was the first one I saw in the theater, and then like all the other ones after that.
Yeah, I wasn't much of a theater person until probably like 19 or 20 when I first got my first stuff.
I have been a theater person since I was like 10.
Yeah, I think the only one I remember seeing as like a teenager when went with my parents one time to go see when True Lies came out.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah, that was like, I still remember going and seeing that because that movie was fucking so good. Actually, I was thinking about this movie because like this summer, because I live in Toronto. I was riding home from work one day on my bicycle going down University Street, and Arnold Schwarzenegger and Tom Arnold rode past me.
What?
And I was at Elm Street, like at the lights going south right before Dundas, because I live just south of Dundas somewhere. So I was going to there, and like, and because University Street is busy, so I'm always looking and stuff. And 3 bicycles with like the bigger ones that are the have the batteries on it and stuff. were going past me, and there's like two person and like the third person just kind of trailing behind, and I'm like, all right, people going by, like that's fine. And then we got to Elm, where the light is, and the two people ahead, like I like kind of turned his head and was talking to the guy like trailing behind, and put a cigar in his mouth. And as he was doing that, I'm like, holy fuck, that's Arnold Schwarzenegger right now. And as I'm like gawking at him, I'm turning and locking eyes with Tom Arnold, but I didn't realize it till like 2 days later because I was gawking at Arnold Schwarzenegger, and like all the Toronto blogs and stuff were like, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Tom Arnold were in town, and they took a picture, and I'm like, that was a guy I freaking locked eyes with, but didn't realize it till like it was a Sunday, and then it was the Tuesday when I saw all this stuff. I'm like, that was fucking Tom Arnold. I was like 3 feet away from him, like beside him.
Yeah.
Like, so I was like, what the hell?
I literally just looked it up and the big picture came up and everything. So yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, so I was like, what? And I totally forgot how I got onto that now.
It's okay.
How? Oh, at True Lies.
We were talking about
movie theater.
movies in theaters.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
I mean, to be honest, I saw True Lies in the theater with my parents as well, but I still remember the quote unquote infamous hotel dance sequence.
Oh,
I was sitting next to my mother. She was like, "Oh my, okay." Yeah, okay.
And I'm like, when we come out, like, what, 95, probably 94, 95. So
it's been
like,
a while, yeah.
Yes, I'm like 14 years old. I'm like, all right, but am I allowed to watch this? Like, is this okay? Well, like, oh, I guess I'm watching it. You can't really put the eye cover the eyes or whatever. So it's like, I guess you're watching it now.
Well, I mean, it didn't go too far. Like, it didn't go like graphic sex scene afterwards, and she didn't actually get naked, which is great. Because there have definitely been action movies where you're just like, and we're watching porn for 5 minutes, and then you go back into it.
Yeah, there's definitely boobs right now. Yeah,
yeah.
but it was classy. Yeah, but still, yeah. So.
But still, yeah. But it's definitely a scene that I always wish was cut if my parents are like in a room or something. I'm like, even at my age now, like a full-fledged adult, if I'm watching a movie and like some scandalous scene comes on, I'm like, and I'm watching the ground and I'm looking at the ceiling. Oh, this is a good time to get up and get a snack. Okay, thank you.
I'm not liking this at all. Like, no, I don't see these people naked. No, looking through the fingers as you're covering your eyes.
You're like, how dare they do this?
I didn't know this happened.
I don't think anybody grows out of that. Like, if it starts in your family, like when you're young, your parents are like hiding these things from you and are like embarrassed. Even doesn't matter how old you get.
Yeah, it
stays there. That just automatic uncomfort comes in when that happens around them, and you're just like, no, I gotta go.
yeah, mine weren't too bad for that. So, like, at one point, like, if boobs came on, they're just kind of joking, like, cover your eyes jokingly or whatever. But I'm like, all right, whatever. I see boobs. So. And it's too late now, so it's already happened. So.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, it's too late. I'm there. It's over.
Ingrained in the brain as I'm 12.
And talking about cringy things, we're talking about Monster Squad.
Oh yeah, so yeah. Actually, surprisingly enough, I thought this would have been a movie I had seen and I remembered rewatching it. Yeah, but I 100% have not seen this movie before.
Well, for me, actually, so I remember seeing this movie when probably around the time it came out, but so not in the theater.
87, I think it was. Yeah.
So probably 89, 80, because back in the day, things to come on TV took 3 years.
Yeah.
That's just how it works. People today will never know.
Yeah, I remember Batman taking almost an entire year to fucking come out in video. Or I think it just came out in time just for Christmas that year, I think.
Right?
And I think I remember that being it was being fast or something like that. I think we're being a big, other than the fact of how much it was, I remember that being a big deal too. That was faster than usual, I think, if memory serves, or slightly faster.
Yeah, and so I'd seen this on TV maybe once or twice. I think it was on TMN or something, the movie network.
Yeah.
And then for years, never saw it again. And I thought it was a weird fever dream, or I was confusing it with other things.
Right, added a few things together sort of thing.
Yeah, and then I talked to friends about it. I'm like, because then I couldn't remember the name of the movie either, which was the biggest problem.
Yeah.
And then so I talked to people, but they're like, that's not a movie. That doesn't exist. What are you talking about? So I just thought I was crazy for years. And then one day I found out what the name of the movie was, looked it up, and I was like, I wasn't crazy.
See, it does
oh
exist.
My God, it's a thing. But apparently nobody saw it. And so
okay, I don't feel
found,
as bad.
Right? And then I found a copy of it on like eBay or something. And honestly, the DVD I own looks like it was copied at someone's house, and the cover was like printed on their printer, and like and they put it in like a real case and sent it to me. Fine. Because even watching it today, I'm like, why is this video quality so bad?
But thankfully enough, actually, back where my hometown is, Peterborough has like a used video game and like store and stuff, and I actually found it there and actually have the I think it's like the 20th, the 2-disc 20th anniversary edition. Even.
So you got the fancy one. Yeah. No, like this fully looks like it was photocopied at someone's house. It doesn't even have like barcodes or anything on it. Like, it's nuts. But yeah, at the time I couldn't find it anywhere. Couldn't find it in video stores. I couldn't find it in like HMV and stuff. They always have some obscure stuff every once in a while, especially if you go to the big ones. No, not at like Blockbuster and stuff. And now I'm aging myself, so I couldn't find it anywhere. And when I found it online, I'm like, well, I have to get it. Got it, and I watched it, and I remember being like, yeah, this is not what I remember, but still liking it. Whereas today, when I watched it, I was just like, what is this garbage? Why am I looking at this? Oh my God. It blew my mind how bad this movie is.
I didn't think it was that bad.
Oh, really?
It didn't. Okay, as I said, like guys said before, don't think it's bad necessarily. It mean it's good, but I don't think it's bad.
Okay.
well, not super bad to be like enough to be like, God, that sucked.
Oh, okay.
I have a low bar, I guess, is what I'm saying.
No, I think there's always sort of like a soft spot for some of these older movies, even if you haven't seen it before, because you can put yourself into like that time period and how they put stuff together and all that kind of stuff, and you kind of get over it. But I think me today watching it, I was just like, why was I so obsessed with this movie when I was younger?
Yeah, like the plot of this movie is thin at best.
Exactly. I will tell you, my notes for both of these movies, say Monster Squad and Monsters Inc., is just a series of questions, but for two very different reasons. Okay, like Monster Squad, I was just confused a lot, so I just have a lot of questions.
I think my first question was, I guess we're skipping a little bit, but like when they went to go get Frankenstein's casket, was he raising the casket and Gilman happened to be there, or was he communicating with Gilman to be like, hey, yo, pick this box up?
Yeah, like there's like okay, so there's that, but then there's so many questions as to like, how does Dracula control these monsters? I didn't know this was
like he seemed to know Frankenstein already, like how they're like really because I back at when they're at Van Helsing's castle, which was actually which was a really good castle like model, I thought. Like Frankenstein wasn't there, and then all of a sudden they're in the plane with the casket. They were like in the school. Then all of a sudden there was a plane. There's no setup. They didn't take off anywhere. They're just playing in the air.
There's just this is the thing. There's so many questions because the movie opened up and I was like, oh, that's a pretty good opening. It starts in like 1887. Van Helsing is about to go kill Dracula. Shit goes down and it goes wrong. Like
if it was Hugh Jackman, Van Helsing, I think you would have gotten him.
Oh my God, that was such a bad movie too.
Oh my
God, so bad. I know he's got charisma, and I really wanted to enjoy it.
Not even into that movie.
Oh my God,
it was so bad.
Like, no, I can't do it. It was brutal, and I'm like, no, Hugh, no. But like that opening sequence when he was like, Dracula's coming out and like they're blowing shit up and the vortex opens and stuff, and for like a low budget movie, like B movie, it's pretty well done.
Yeah, except for like when they use the dynamite like on the door, like there's zero flame. Yeah. But yet later on in the movie when they blew up the treehouse, it was all flame. Like it's like they like saved all the flame for the first one for the second one.
I don't know. Maybe they just maybe they shot the like treehouse first, and then they shot like the Transylvania stuff later, and they ran out of money.
And actually, I was speaking of that opening, I was reading the IMDb on that, and like the initial draft had like zeppelins coming in, like hundreds of guys, and like just that opening scene was gonna cost more than like the entire movie, so they're like, yeah, we can't do that, so
we're gonna cut that part. Thank you.
Which always which made me think of like that you saw. Did you see Red State, like the Kevin Smith movie?
Yeah,
like his proposed like ending of that movie instead. It was
I didn't know there was a different ending.
Yeah, well, he thought about it. He mentioned to his friend who's from Toronto, Malcolm, and he's like, that would be awesome, but you fucking can't do this. Whereas like it was where the apocalypse did happen, and a bunch of angels came in and just fucking slaughtered people and stuff, and it just like a bunch of angels just causing hell, part of the pun, and stuff and all this stuff. And he's like, this is awesome, but you can't do this movie. This is going to cost like millions of dollars just to do this one thing, and the rest of the movie costs like $10. So no.
Right? Yeah. Well, they just had like a shack in the woods, a couple of cars, and a couple of like FBI outfits.
Yeah.
That was the whole movie.
Yeah.
And like, actually, I liked Red State. Yeah. I was surprised how much I liked it.
I'm not saying it looked bad or anything with the small budget thing, but yeah, it was actually pretty good. But this would have cost like 10 times more than like the rest of the movie just for that, which I said would have been awesome, but
yeah, it would have put his like Kevin Smith twist on it because it's true. Red State is a very like straightforward, serious movie because it spends a lot of the time being like, "Where's the joke? Where's the funny part? No, it's not happening." Okay, like so. Yeah, that would have definitely been like. And this is definitely a Kevin Smith movie. If the angels came in.
There it is.
There it is.
And actually, that was my first Kevin Smith like show I went to as well. It was actually at the Toronto Underground Theater on Spadina when it was still there. Like I think it was like within a year before it like closed up or something. I think, or within a year.
Yeah, they keep getting rid of all these cool historical locations.
Yeah, no, because I would fucking love to go. Because I don't live too far away from where that location is now. So like I would have loved to go there because I like going to movies all the time stuff. And I probably would have went there because it was cool because it was like I said, it was like the underground. It was like down on the floor and stuff.
Yeah.
So it would have been rad.
That would have been cool, definitely. But not as rad as this movie.
No.
Segue. As
I said, let's not get a little ahead of ourselves. I didn't say it was that good. I just said it wasn't bad.
Yeah. So another thing that confuses me, I'm just like, why? How did Van Helsing's like diary and that stone and all that stuff end up in random town USA?
Yeah, like, did they ever say where that was?
No, it's just random town.
Yeah, like when Dracula fucking shows up, he like it kind of looks like this overlooking the city. It almost looks like LA, but it's not a big city. So it was like once I got more in the movie, I'm like, yeah, it's definitely not LA.
Yeah,
no. So the amulet like inside the house and stuff like the house is built around the amulet. It looked like even.
Yes.
So it's just random house. So so they got out of the plane and like the guys like see that Dracula's there, drop the casket, and then Dracula gets it and just drives to the city.
Yeah. It just like I just don't have words for it because you're just like, yeah, that's a thing that happened in
that's where you usually put like Texas is like, like Alabama or Tennessee or whatever, like by like small like made up city Tennessee.
And for some reason this town also has like a fantastic museum that has like a live not a live he comes to life, but he's got like they have like a sarcophagus and like the mummy in it and like whatever that escapes from their fancy museum. It's just like, what the fuck is going on in this town?
and how bad are those cops that a mummy walking away that slowly got away from the crime scene?
Yeah.
Especially they were looking for it even.
Actually, you know what? It's not even I don't even think that's the reason why I think they're bad cops. I think they're bad cops because they don't listen to anything anybody says. Somebody says something and they just start laughing and making fun of them.
Like, but yeah, but like Wolfman said he was a wolfman.
Yeah. Also, that's also a scene that confuses me. So man comes in, says he needs to be arrested because he's a wolf man. Fine. That's crazy and stuff, but at least cuff him, put him in an asylum, whatever. Yeah. But at the same time, the scene goes, they finally like tackle him to put him in handcuffs. Then he fights out of the tackle to shoot the ceiling and be like, put me in jail. You're just like, but they were gonna do that.
Yeah.
Why?
But grabbing the gun and shoots it means exactly what happened. The cops gonna shoot you because if you grab a gun in a cop shop, they are gonna shoot you and not put you in jail. They'd be like, that happened because we suck. Or actually, they probably wouldn't put that in because they wouldn't say that. But
yeah,
they're like, somehow we got a gun and we shot him.
Like, so it's little things like this that just confuses me. You're just like, okay, they weren't pushing you out the door. They were fighting you to arrest you. And then you fought out of their grip to tell them to arrest you. You're just like, why was this a choice? Why is this where you're going? But even earlier than that, like, so we were talking about the part on the plane. Dracula's there with Frankenstein's in a box for some reason.
Yeah.
Don't know how that happened. Don't know how they came across each other. It just happened. We're just accepting it. And Dracula just punches a dude. This dude on the plane, his first thought is to open a bay door to murder someone from 10,000 feet. And you're just like...
because he punched me.
Because he punched me. What? These people the people in this world are crazy. They're just crazy. I'm saying that right now.
And then, like, after opening the bay door, the other thing that made sense is, like, he turned into the bat. Mm-hmm. But, like, once he turned from the bat into Dracula, like, his robe or whatever didn't just materialize. It was part of him. But, like, when he went to go turn back, it fell out the plane, and then he turned into a bat. Like, that doesn't make sense.
So maybe he found it later. I have no idea.
But that's not a thing. Like it turns with him into the bat and then backwards. That's how Dracula works. Right?
Is it though? Because so according to the Bram Stoker's Dracula movie that has like Gary Oldman and stuff, when he changes form, he loses his clothing.
I guess I need to watch that movie again. I don't remember that part.
No, you don't need to watch that movie again. It's fine.
Yeah, you're probably right.
I used to love that movie. I thought it was so deep and dramatic. It's so bad.
That was sorry, Keanu, but that was the bad Keanu years.
I mean, yes.
I'm sorry. Like I know it's blasphemy to say bad about Keanu, but that was not good Keanu.
Well, you can't say anything. Even Keanu doing something that is bad, it's still pretty good. Yeah. It was fine. Yeah, so, it was his. Also, it's his get this like weird British accent. Yeah.
So that was
the whole thing.
Yeah, like that was one of, if not one of his first movies or big movies at least.
No, he's been doing movies.
Oh yeah, Youngbloods and all that shit was before that.
Yeah, and like Babes in Toyland and Bill and Ted, I think was before that as well. And I think that was his foray into like serious.
Toyland, what's that?
You don't know what Babes in Toyland is? Hold on.
I do not know what it says. I'm good.
This is also a movie I thought I was losing my mind about for years.
1961. That's not the one I'm looking at.
No, it is from 1986.
Okay.
A young girl wakes up in the realm of Toyland where she teams up with her family and friends to overthrow an evil villain, Barnaby. And it is, who's in this? It's Drew Barrymore, Keanu Reeves, Pat Morita. Yeah, Pat Morita. It is just.
How do I not know about this movie?
I think it's one of those. Okay, some actors, when they get famous, their bad movies or their early movies just like fall out of existence. People are just like that. Like people forget that George Clooney's first major role was in Attack of the Killer Tomatoes Part 2. And this is a thing that drives me nuts. Okay? I'm like, that man came from cheese. Okay? Like, come on. And then he was on
I know from Roseanne.
And then he got on Roseanne, and then he did ER.
Yeah.
That's when he became like famous, like serious actor famous.
Yeah.
But Attack of the Killer Tomatoes Part 2, there is a fuzzy, chirping, sentient tomato that he becomes friends with.
As you do.
As you do. Like, come on. Come on.
Yeah, like I remember the cartoon of that, like like the short-lived cartoon.
Yeah.
Like the Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. I think it was on around the same time when like the California Raisins had like a cartoon for a bit.
Oh yes, that's right. Yeah. Well, that was when they were trying to make everything into a cartoon, because they even had like a Beetlejuice cartoon where him and Fernando Reyes' character were like best friends, and they had fun in the underworld. And I'm just like,
they were like in Beetlejuice Land a lot with like the snakes and stuff.
Yeah, which always confused me, and I'm just like, has anybody seen the movie Beetlejuice? Because he's a creepy old man who wanted to marry a child, and you can only go into the underworld if you're dead and stuff. So
it's one of those things. It's like that cartoon's nothing like the movie except for like name and loose characters.
Yeah. Well, I guess it's the same thing with things like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Like if you read the like original stuff,
it's so dark.
It's so dark, And I only read that stuff. What, maybe like in my like late 20s or something. Yeah. So it was years, like it was like 20 years after Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was like off TV is when I got into it, and I was just like, this is very different. Like, ooh, okay, yeah. So but yeah, people need to remember some celebrities came from trash and they grew into beautiful flowers. That's fine. But the people need to remember these things.
Remember where they came from.
Yeah. But Keanu's always been a nice person, and he's always been great. So we'll give it to him. We'll let it go. We'll let it go.
When's John Wick 4 supposed to come out? Do you know?
I think it's next year, isn't it?
Yeah, like soon. Yeah. So I want to say I want to say spring, but yeah, I was so mad. Like I went to go see that to see the first one in the theater in Newmarket where I used to live, and then I got there and then the projector broke.
Oh my god!
So even like right before it even started, so we got our money back and free ticket and stuff, and then the next that was my last day off before I had to go back to work for a week, working 311s. They went to go see in the theater my next day off, out of the theater.
Oh my!
And I was so mad because obviously nobody knew what it was at the time, so it didn't do a lot of business.
Yeah, I don't remember there being advertising or anything when that first movie came out.
I think it was one of those things where I had the day off and I'm like, hey, what the hell is let's see what's playing. I'm like, oh, a Keanu movie, what the hell? I'm bored as hell, so I'm not doing anything. So I'll just go to the movie just for this, so I'm not sitting at home. And then I was like, oh crap, that sucks. And then 8 months later it came out and I was like, oh, I missed this in the theater. I was so bad.
That would have been so good to see in the theater, because I remember seeing it on, like, it came on like one of the movie channels or something one day, and I'm like, ooh, a Keanu Reeves movie, I'm gonna fucking watch this. And I watched it, I'm like, how have I never heard of this movie before?
Because I think it was like after the theater one when it started, when it slowly started to be like, holy shit, this is a great movie. And I was like seeing that, I'm like, oh fuck, this sucks. And then as soon as I saw it, I'm like, yep, they were right.
Yeah, I think they put all of their money into making the movie, and they had nothing left for like their advertising budget, and they just was like, it's Keanu, we'll just put it in a theater, hopefully somebody will watch it. And then nobody did, because nobody knew what it was.
Yeah, exactly.
Or nobody even had like knew to look for it.
No.
Because I don't even remember seeing like posters in movie theaters for it or anything. No. So, if I saw like John Wick on like a thing, I never saw a poster. Like if I saw that poster and Keanu was in it with a gun, I would have seen that movie in the theater for
definitely, sure. Yeah. I think one of the few movies I kind of like went in blind. It was like that and like Ex Machina, where I just the same thing. I was like bored and I just needed to leave the house for a bit. And that was the only thing I was like, this sounds weird. So I went and saw it and was like, holy shit, this is a good movie.
It's a good movie, indeed. Yeah.
And did you ever watch Devs? Like it was by Alex Garland and
like the TV show?
Yeah, like the miniseries.
I tried to watch it. I watched the first 3 episodes, or maybe it was when a TV show is going very, very slowly, or I'm very frustrated by it, I tend to think I've watched more than I have. So I watched to the point where he technically found out what they were making, which I think is like it's either in episode 2 or 3.
Yeah, it's
definitely early. More than one episode.
Yeah, it's definitely not the first one.
Yeah, and I have to say, I hated every minute of watching that show. I was very frustrated by it. So,
then I guess I won't suggest it then.
Okay, but you're saying it was good.
I enjoyed it.
Okay,
at least So that's usually what I go is like I won't say it's good or bad. I'm like I'll say I liked it or really liked it or whatever. Then I might think it's good or whatever. Yeah, but I enjoyed it at least. So
okay,
but
I mean, there is a chance in the future at some point I might give it another try. I'm not saying no. But because like the reason why I sat to watch it, I'm like, this looks like something that's in my wheelhouse. It's kind of like sci-fi techie but modern. And,
I would have thought that too. Yeah. So
yeah. I usually like that kind of high concept stuff, but sometimes it has to do with like the pacing, or maybe I'm not connecting with the characters.
Yeah, it is kind of slow. Yeah, so
it's incredibly slow. Yeah, I was just like, nothing. I've watched 3 episodes and I've gotten 2 things out of this, and I don't care. I don't care about any of these characters. Yeah, because that's like I'm watching Severance right now. And I find that show very slow, but for some reason, as soon as you meet all the characters, you like them and you want to know what happens to them. So
is that the one with one of the people from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., or is that a different show?
No, it's Adam Scott's in it.
Oh.
And John, is it John Turturro? Is that what his name is?
John Turturro.
Oh. Yeah. And who else is in Christopher Walken shows up in there. And
go on.
A Cusack, one of the Cusacks.
Arquette.
Patricia Arquette.
Oh, I was gonna say it's a guy or a lady, because that would be like either John or Joan. So
yeah. So yeah, there's quite a few people in it that you'll recognize, and like they're doing a really good job in this kind of like slowly paced, moody show. Yeah, it is John Turturro. Yeah, I got his name right. I'm good. Yeah. But like I find as soon as you meet all of them, you want to know what's happening to all of them. And so it's like I find the pacing a little frustrating, but I'm like, I need to know because I like these people. Like, oh my god, I need to know what's happening. You know. All right. So
I'll definitely have to check it out.
Yeah, try that one. Yeah. I'm doing 1 episode a week because I'm a crazy person.
Is it released weekly or?
Oh no, the whole season has been released. I'm just watching one episode.
You're pacing yourself. Excellent.
I am pacing myself.
Excellent.
Yes.
And then 2, and then of course, like I have to say, like I do know a Star Trek reference in Monster Squad.
Yep.
Did you pick it out?
I actually picked it out for the wrong reasons. I actually thought that the guy who plays Dracula, he was the same guy who played Moriarty, but he's not. It's much more infinite. He plays Ronan, like the ghost candle guy in the Sub Rosa episode. And if you guys listening do not know what that episode is, I beg you to look at it and enjoy the cheesy garbage that it is. There you go.
Okay, that was actually not the one I picked out. Actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Okay. Actually, the kid, like the main kid's father, is Bjorn in DS9 for like a 2-parter or something.
He is.
Yeah. Like the cop.
Okay.
Like cop dad or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, like him. He's like because I only recognize him because I just earlier this year went through DS9 again for like the third time. This is like the third.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I did not pick up on that one. Okay.
So like when I tweeted that last night, that was my reference.
Also, I just noticed I was looking at the Dracula dude as well. He was also in Deep Space Nine, and he played Shakar on the 3 episodes.
Shakar. Which one's Shakar? Is that one of Lady Bajoran on the spaceship.
Yeah, he's one of the Bajorans.
Like the one she
who was with
has a
like
relationship. She has like a relationship with him for a bit. Or is that
no. That's Vedic Barile. No, this is different. No, this is a guy Kira was in The Occupation with, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
Yeah, music Kira came. Yeah, so yeah, he was a guy that was in The Occupation with her. And he shows up for 3 episodes.
And then so like going back to so going to the back to the cop. Okay, do you think a Wolfman can die when he's in human form, or?
Okay, I do not agree with. Yes, a Wolfman needs to be shot with silver bullets, but it's to get rid of the Wolfman side of it cures the infection of the Wolfman.
It'll kill the Wolfman side.
Yeah, but you can kill a werewolf. Like you can, if you rip them to shreds and all that kind of stuff, they don't soup back together like they do in this movie.
They like just get the moon power and then come back to life.
Yeah, this is literally the only movie that I've ever seen that they've done that. So I don't know.
Power go.
Exactly. I was just like, oh, is he like a Terminator? Just like zips back together? That's it?
Yeah.
Oh, and speaking of Schwarzenegger, did you make the Schwarzenegger connection with this movie as well?
No.
Frankenstein, hint, hint, nudge, nudge. No? Okay, so he plays the guy, the villain, like the guy with the axe and stuff in Last Action Hero that kills.
Oh yeah, fuck yeah. Oh yeah, another freaking great Arnold Schwarzenegger movie that like
such a great movie.
Yeah, not a lot of people talk about. Really, it's that movie. Fuck off.
I think so. The thing is, I think when it first came out, people did not understand the actual satire of it.
Because he's obviously making fun of his own movies.
Yeah, and like I think people understood that, but they're like, I think they missed a certain level of the satire because honestly, when I first saw that movie, I did not like it, but every time I've watched it since, it gets better and better and better. And because you pick up new jokes and nuances and all kinds of stuff all over the place, you're just like, this is freaking hilarious. I love it. This is awesome.
How'd you know to shoot the door? There's a guy. I shoot the door. There's a guy in there every time.
Exactly. Gotta shoot the door.
It's cost me a fortune.
Yeah. And then there's John Grise, who shows up in like the human form of Wolfman, who shows up in like 800 things.
Yeah. So he's like that guy sort of thing.
Yeah. Well, actually, I talked about him technically last week because he was in Men in Black. I talked about Men in Black last week. And he was in Napoleon Dynamite and Get Shorty. And he's one of those faces that you're just like, hey, it's that guy.
You brought it up. I will still admit I still haven't seen Napoleon Dynamite.
What? Oh like, I don't know if that movie is aged well.
Probably not.
But I remember I didn't see it in the theater. I bought the DVD. So we'll be talking about this again later. So I won't talk about it too much. But when I saw it, I sat home and I watched it. I was the only one home and it finished. My brother came home with his friend and I was like, I bought Napoleon Dynamite. He's like, are you going to watch it? I'm like, yeah, we can watch it again. And literally 3 seconds later, I watched it again and enjoyed every minute of it still. So I don't know. And I've definitely watched it several times since and I've had some very interesting interactions with people. Like I remember I was working with this one guy who was quite a bit younger than myself. Like he was like 20 and I was like, mature, I'm gonna say it that way. And he was like, I had to give him like a music lesson because he thought Canned Heat by Jamiroquai, like the dance sequence at the end of the movie, was made for the movie, and I almost had a heart attack. And I had to give him all the Jamiroquai songs and like get to talk about things and everything. I love that kid, but I had to teach him so much stuff. I remember one of the Chris's from Criss Cross died, and he's like, "What's Criss Cross?" And I was like,
"What? Oh,
flip table. This is unacceptable."
Is it not as bad as my one coworker who, like my old station I worked at, who was my supervisor. My email address is older than he was. My email address was 6 months old. Well, I guess still is 6 months older than he is.
Mm-hmm. I think I got my first email address in like 1988 or something, or 89.
It was like 93 for me, like or no, early like April 94. Sorry.
Yeah. I don't have that original email anymore because it turned into just like every day I would get
Like
maybe 800
all the
random email, all of the spam. I just had to get like a new email.
Yeah.
And I think even like my new email address was probably like 96, 97. Like it wasn't like I was still in high school when I got that new email address kind of thing. So
it was in high school for me.
Yeah, I definitely know people who weren't born when I got that email address, and it breaks my heart. Like it's destroying. It's pretty brutal. God, I think you made me think about this. Now I'm like, I'm breaking. I'm just like, oh my God, no.
What have I done?
I have done nothing with my life. I'm a floor. I have wasted time. Yes, I need to go to the moon. It's absolutely fine.
Yeah, and then too, like then we talked about Dracula, like knowing Frankenstein, and so like did like he seemed to know Wolfman as well.
Mm-hmm.
So how the fuck did Dracula know everybody? Because he's from like
Transylvania.
Europe. That's it. I was to say Europe because I couldn't fucking think of Transylvania. And he comes here and he fucking knows everybody. Well, he brought Frankenstein with him, so that
and where does Gillman come from exactly?
Yeah, they just coincidentally dropped his casket at Gillman's house, and then he doesn't show up till like the end of the movie.
Which I was so mad about because I'm like, actually, if you look at that Gillman suit, when you finally see like the full thing at the end of the movie, it was so good. Yeah. Maybe that's what it was. They had it for like a day and a half and had to like return it somewhere. It's fine. I've been trying my best to watch all of like the classic movies all of these like monsters are based off of. And so one thing I never realized in this movie, because this is the first time I've watched it since I've watched the original Frankenstein movies, is that so the scene at the pond where Frankenstein shows up and the little girls at the lake and all that kind of stuff is a scene recreated from that original movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Nice. It's just like perfectly. And then I was like, oh, they're paying homage to it. That's so good. And then, downhill. I don't know what happened. Because I also don't understand why. Like, I know technically if you read the book and if you watch the movies and stuff, Frankenstein's monster deep down is a sweet, is a kind heart, is not bad, right?
Yeah.
So, but at the same time, he's being controlled by Dracula and told to go find these kids. Also, I have no idea how Dracula knows these kids have the book.
Yeah, like the book that his mom got just from the house, which coincidentally is the house that has the amulet in it. So how would they get the book? Like how would it go from the house to being like, hey, I got this for you?
I have no idea.
Did she like steal from the house? Or was there like a garage sale? They were like, hey, we found the stuff in this house and we're stealing it?
Yeah, I'm doing a lot of shrugging. I have no answers to any of these questions.
Yeah. Also, the house that just Dracula shows up after he drops off Frankenstein in Gillman's house.
Yeah, just out of nowhere, just out of the blue, just hanging out there.
Yeah, this is where the amulet is that has concentrated goodness. Yeah. Like, how do you concentrate goodness? Is my other question. I
thought that was just like a bunch of sugar in like a thing. Isn't that what that is? Is just a sugar crystal? That's it. Sugar is nice things. That's what people say. I was trying to make a joke. It wasn't working. And we're just gonna walk away from it. And just let it go. Just let it go. This comment also brings up the fact. I know it seemed weird in the first place, but the kid puts together was Dracula doing all the bad things because somebody called the house and his mother or father took a message and wrote it out.
Oh yeah, well,
And
I think it was like Dracula backwards or something. You tried to do like you tried to do
yeah,
the like word jumble, but I think it was just backwards,
yeah.
like Dracula backwards.
And I love the fact the kid just like glanced at it and figured it out in like 3 seconds. I was
He's
like,
like, oh,
really? Okay.
I should write this down. Figure out what this really means.
Yeah. You're
This
like,
is
does
this
it
is a
mean something?
like this is a code, and only I know because I'm smart, and it's Dracula.
I was like, what? And why is Dracula calling the house? Like, I
Yeah,
don't.
yeah. Like, how do you? Yeah, again, how do you know
How
it
do you get
was?
the phone number? How does
Or
he
that was
track down
that?
who has
Yeah,
it?
like hey, this is a person that bought the book from the bad garage sale that he stole from my house.
Yeah. Something nefarious happened for that kid to have the book in the first place, so
Yeah,
it's coming back at him, just letting it
yeah.
happen. Mm.
Like was like a surprise, like at state sale they just had outside the house or something, maybe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's nuts. It's absolutely nuts. My other question. So you know the scene where the kid's like, "There's a monster in my closet," and tells the
Yeah,
parents, and like the dad essentially makes fun of him the whole time,
yeah,
but the mummy is in his closet.
yeah.
Why was the mummy randomly in that closet when 5 minutes ago he was hanging out with Dracula in a house?
And how do you get in there with nobody figuring it out? Because
Or noticing or
yeah, like because he
anything.
walked so slow, and he was able to climb out the window, and I'm assuming there was like a tree out there, maybe. Or
Maybe.
yeah, but like yeah. So then the kid's like, all right, he's gone now, so I can go sleep.
Yeah, I was just
Yeah,
confused.
how
There's so many confusing things about this because even there's even the scene where yes, they went and talked to the old German man who knows a lot about monsters because he's a Holocaust
yeah,
victim.
he knows
Fine.
monsters. Yeah,
Even though five
different
minutes before the cops were saying like there's no such thing as monsters, and you're like, you're
and
wrong.
and also a different kind of monsters, really.
Exactly, right? But again, those cops are the worst because they take nothing anybody said. Like eyewitnesses were like, I saw this thing, and they point and they laugh at them. I'm like, you're not like what is you're not Chief Wiggum. Like, what are you doing? Like, this is you're supposed to be taking these people's comments seriously because there's like somebody actually dies. So the guy in that was transporting like the wolf man's dead body like gets killed, he gets mauled to death and crashes.
Oh,
um
does he die? Oh, that's
he died, like they said that they
oh,
say that later in the movie that the guy is dead
oh
but the
fuck.
body in the back is missing, and you're just like,
Weird.
so shouldn't you try to start taking this maybe a little bit more seriously? Even if you don't believe it's Wolfman, you know something is going wrong and maybe you should pay attention to what people are saying around you.
I guess
Like,
that's like the one true thing they got is that they showing that cops are incompetent.
yeah, and
Hey
they're assholes,
yo,
or
yeah.
they're assholes like in
Oh, that
general.
that too. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that too.
Yeah, that like that whole part was just making me so like because it was especially the black cop, like the partner who just kept was just like, I'm making so some man calls the police station, tells you I'm a wolf man, yes, but also I'm gonna murder your son. And he tells this to his partner, and his partner starts laughing because he says it was a wolf man. I'm like, did you not hear the part where he threatened to murder my son?
Oh, that doesn't matter. You just Wolfman, so you don't have to take it seriously.
Exactly. Like I think it's nuts.
That's
That
code
character
for
is
jokes.
that whole thing was just making me so angry. I was so mad about it. Uh and then too, like, so Dracula had these like three random girls trapped in a closet that he was gonna
Yeah.
feed on, and he makes into like vampires as well.
Okay, so
But
that's what I was going to ask. It's one of my questions. It's like were they vampires later on in the movie? But I guess they are.
well, I think that's what they were at the end. Like
I think
when
so.
the tough kid was like shooting them with stakes, I assume
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
they were, but I also feel sorry for those girls because apparently nobody was like, oh, there's three missing girls in our town. Nobody, they seem to look the same as like the high school girl that they got. So I was like, is nobody worried that these girls are missing and they're dead in the street now? No, nobody cares. Okay. It's stuff like this that I was just like, this is just frustrating. Like simple story through line things they were not putting in there. Like there's a whole I feel like I'm talking a lot, but I think I'm just frustrated with this movie. Like there's a whole montage of them getting ready for the night. I think that's what I was trying to explain before. So like they talk to the German guy, he translates the book, and they just walk out being like, "Oh my god, something's gonna happen tomorrow." And then all of a sudden there's like a montage of them making bullets at school and stuff. And I'm just like, when did they come up with a plan? Like I don't when did this happen?
And yeah, how's that one kid have like the bullet mold
And he's doing this in school, I think.
or something?
Which
Yeah,
seems wrong.
You also need like gunpowder and stuff or whatever. So like, is that at the school too? Is that like an American thing? Is that like they teach how to make bullets at school? I guess maybe.
Again, a lot of shrugging, a lot of questions that cannot be answered by this film.
Yes, I see. I see another question mark in my notes. Is why does Frankenstein's monster need lifts for? Like there was like 6-inch lifts. Like what does he need to be taller for?
Well, no, but that is a pretty regular thing in all depictions of Frankenstein, though, because like even in like the original movies that I watched, like he always had these like stacked shoes. But I don't know, maybe that has to do because they have to like bring him to life with electricity, like because that's the only reason why he's got bolts in his head so that the cables can connect to something. So maybe it's a thing about like grounding him and stuff. I don't know. I have no idea. But I didn't think about it because I'm like, he's usually depicted that way. So okay. Like if he was wearing like flashy ruby slippers, I'd be very
like that's not the story.
You know, like what happened over there in Oz exactly? Yes.
Oh yeah, and speaking of that montage, I had my notes. I was like, that kid was easily able to steal like the bow and arrow set.
Yeah, he just like walked up and was like, and thank you.
He's like, all right, I'm walking away now. So I'm taking these now. So I was like, if I knew it was that easy, I'd have a bow and arrow stuff for my school. Because I think I remember like one year, like one of the, like in like grade 11 or 12, like if it's had like that for like 2 weeks, they had like like archery stuff in the gym or whatever. So they were around. I know that. So
yeah, no, we never did archery in school. We
I think
to do things that we can murder each other with.
Yeah, I think I just coincidentally was like like around the gym of that one day, and I happened to see it, so that's the only reason why I knew. Yeah, because I think after grade 10, I said like I'm not doing physical stuff. Screw that noise. I'm done.
I have another question. How is no one noticing small children hanging out with a very strange large man?
You think that would be especially in a smaller town. Yeah, that would be that would
people would notice.
You would think so. Yeah, it's not easily like looked over in a smaller town. I don't think.
Yeah, you know, like because there's even like a scene where the little girl Phoebe is like playing dress up in some room with him, and I'm like, this seems odd. I would think somebody would have noticed and been like, what's going on here? This is my whole question.
I almost thought that kid was from like one of the kids from Die Hard because the mother is like the reporter from so I was initially thinking when I saw the first scene when they're together, I was thinking it was like his wife and the kid instead, but I'm like, no, that's not I'm like, it's a reporter instead, and I thought the kid was from Die Hard too, but it's not.
Yeah, she was on an episode of Frasier.
I haven't watched Frasier since I was like in high school, so I don't really have that much.
It would have been in 1994, so yes. And she was on an episode of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Really?
So she did things. She was on an episode of My Two Dads and Superior Court.
What's Superior Court?
Am I thinking of the wrong thing? I think I'm thinking of the wrong thing. What's this one? What is Superior Court? On the heels of a successful divorce court, Superior Court was among a wave of reality-based courtroom dramas released in the late 1980s. Both criminal and civil proceedings were presented. Oh, it's a court show.
Oh. So like a Judge Judy type thing or something?
It seems like it.
Oh, weird.
So I wonder if she was like, is this baby theft? Is the name of the episode.
Oh.
There's no information on it, so I have no idea.
Did she get baby theft?
I hope not, because that seems horrible.
Oh, yeah, and now when I look at my notes, I think I saw what you were talking about it with Wolfman. You said I'll find something if I'll find something out about Wolfman and we'll talk about it.
Yeah, because Wolfman's got nards.
Yeah, yes. Because I was thinking, I'm like, what is she talking about? That day I was like, oh, that's it.
There it is. There it is. Yes, I was trying to put it in such a way that I'm just like, I can't use the word nards in this tweet, not because it would be offensive, but I'm just like, no, you have to discover it for yourself, you know.
Yeah, I definitely would have brought that up if you hadn't said it either way. So definitely would be.
Yeah, but the fact that they didn't think he had nards had me confused. I'm like, are you sure? Like,
Because I actually
dude.
That ties it to like early in the movie because he was like naked. And he's like, did they say like wolf dong or something like that?
Yeah, they always have to have on pants. They got to cover that up.
Oh yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, gotta come off that wolf dong. He's like, wolf dong.
Of course. When in doubt, always go for the crotch. You gotta run away. That's fine.
That was done.
Yeah. What other questions do I have? Let's see.
Yeah. Are those vampire ladies? Yeah, we've got that covered already.
Mm-hmm. How does Dracula know about the treehouse, and why is he walking around with so much TNT?
Yeah. That was one of my questions. Like, why is it? Where is everybody getting all this dynamite?
Yeah,
especially.
But he's Dracula. So far, he's been able to control monsters and possibly levitate things. So what does he need all this TNT for?
And also another question: he's able to make the hearse go ghost on the road. So like, how does he get the ghost hearse?
Mm-hmm.
And where did he get the hearse to begin with?
Right? Because I've never heard about Dracula driving around in a hearse.
Yeah. Even though it was a fucking cool hearse, but it was like, where do you get it nonetheless?
Yeah.
Because that's like, is that like the monsters have a hearse too? If they drive around, I
think so. Or is it the or Addams Family?
Or
actually, it might be both of them, to be honest.
Probably.
But my whole thing now. Okay, now I have a new question. So yes, Van Helsing blew it at the beginning. So does that mean Dracula has just been dormant in Transylvania's castle like for that 100 years?
Yeah, another thing that's not because you see them like they get sucked into what looks like the Phantom Zone, and then they're at the school, and then he's in the plane. So
yeah, like we
have no idea. We have no idea.
Yeah, there's no connection to how they're doing this.
Could have been like Lestat and went to New York and like sung some corn songs for a bit, and then came to Hill Valley. Which another question is like when they were at the town square or whatever, that kind of looked like Hill Valley, like from like
Back to the Future.
Yeah, did not, or am I just hoping it looked like?
I mean, I think you might be hoping,
or just projecting.
It could also literally just be a reused set.
Yeah. Because it may have been because it kind of looked like that. Yeah. Or I said, I could have just been like hoping.
Yeah, because no, that's a 2-year difference, so I don't know if that would be the same thing.
Yeah, because like it's still exists now because it was that Jennifer Love Hewitt show where she. That Ghost Talker show or something.
Ghost Whisperer.
Yeah, because it still existed then, so it could have been, I
don't know. Well, no, Ghost Whisperer was filmed in like the 2000s.
Yeah, as I'm saying,
so maybe it is.
Yeah,
I bet you there's an easy way to find out. Hold on, let me look at the IMDb. Let's see some trivia. Let's look at the trivia stuff.
Trivia.
I do like that they put these random things in here.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And then speaking of like when they're in the town square, and then the cop dad shows up and like shoots at the Dracula when he's in the bat form, then crashes through the window, and then he's like halfway through transforming, he's like injured, so like he can be injured and killed like in bat form, or was it from going through the window? Do you think?
Well, he was shot during. I think it was so. The cop shot him when he was in his bat form, right?
Yeah.
So maybe he's vulnerable in his bat form, and going through the window didn't help. Maybe I don't know.
Another question that this movie brings up that has no answer.
Okay, so in the trivia here, there is no reference to Back to the Future or Hill Valley, so I don't know.
Yeah, so maybe
And
that
there's a
was.
lot of it here, so I don't want to just sit here and just try to read all of it.
No, no, no. Okay, yeah. So if you didn't think it looked like it, then it was probably me just.
Aw,
What?
I stopped at the wrong place in this trivia thing and saw something depressing.
Oh,
The kid who played Horace, quote unquote fat kid, died tragically of pneumonia in
oh,
1997. And I was like, oh.
that's unfortunate. Yeah, and that's another thing I didn't like about that they're so like easy with calling him fat kid through the entire movie.
Yeah, well, they like one of my first comments about this
Yeah,
was
I was
in
hoping to avoid this part. Yeah,
yeah, they
yeah.
made
We have a bad habit of picking movies that drop that one word,
yeah,
I don't like it.
but
I didn't
they
like that.
make what is it like 6 gay jokes in like 3 minutes or
Yeah.
something?
And he drops that a few times at least in there. Yeah,
All
so
the different words too, and I'm just like, come on, man, that's really not
yeah.
necessary. Like, jeez.
Yeah, and it was a kid from the Wonder Years too. It's like you don't need to be trying to do that to him.
Yes,
So
yeah.
I didn't like that.
Is this before the Wonder Years or after the Wonder Years?
Or in and around at least probably.
The
'Cause I
Wonder
want
Years
to.
was 88. It was the year after.
Oh, after yeah. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
because I would have said that I would have thought they would have like been in it during that now.
Mm-hmm.
That's because I thought it
No,
was a little earlier.
but he plays a good asshole older brother, so
Yeah,
it's a role for him.
yeah,
But yeah, no, it was so extra and
yeah.
unnecessary. I was like, oh my god,
Yeah, I
this
didn't
is
like
sad.
that. Yeah, and
No.
then one of my notes is like that poor kid's name is Horace. So
Yeah.
so his real name's not much better.
No.
No,
I mean, but you
but
know,
still,
yeah, because they're like whore ass. You're like, come on, guys. You're not even trying at this
no,
point. Be a little bit more witty about it.
yeah,
Come on. Also Rudy, like the tough kid that joins the monster squad, is the lamest tough kid I've ever seen in my life.
he was a little too keen to get in the club. If he was
Yeah.
that much of a tough kid, he'd be like, "No, I don't want to be in the club," and then reluctantly became the hero at the end.
Yeah. Well, even when he shows up, like, and he's trying to save Horace, right? And they like do like the pan upwards, and you see like his white socks and his black loafers, and he like sets the match off on it, and I'm like, is this supposed to be cool? Like, what is happening here?
It doesn't make you look like the tough kid.
No, no, not at all. I was like, you're just trying way too hard. Like, come on. You know what he looks like? He looks like one of those like what do you call it? Makeover montages happened like 3 seconds before. Like he was the nerdy kid, and especially like, no, we're gonna make you tough. And, like took him into like a closet and like did his hair and whatever, and like
makeover,
right.
makeover. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just like, this is sad. Come on, man. What? It's crazy. What else? What other questions did I have?
Yeah, let's see a thing.
Why doesn't Steve count? Why doesn't Steve? Oh, it was the girl who was like, I'm a virgin, but then when she was reading things, she wasn't a virgin, and she's like, well, Steve doesn't count. I'm like, what's wrong with Steve? What happened to Steve?
And two, all the other kids are virgins.
Yeah, so I was
every single one.
I don't know why it had to be a girl, but I think they insisted it had to be a girl.
Or I was thinking it was just because the 80s are like, it has to be a girl because it's a girl.
Yeah.
So
well,
that's
any like film or book or whatever that I've ever read or seen where they're like, oh, we need to sacrifice a virgin. It's always been a woman.
Yeah, it's
for some reason. Yeah. I have no idea why. So
yeah, because if they have sex, they're unclean. But if the dudes have sex, it's fine. Because like ladies have to have sex with somebody to become unpure from, and it's not themselves. So
right,
yeah, but
craziness.
Yeah,
and I think my last note on this movie is there wasn't enough Gilman, but we covered that.
Yeah, yeah. He looked great, and I was disappointed it wasn't Doug Jones either.
No, it was not Doug Jones. Yeah, he's actually surprisingly easy to pick out when he's like the monster and something. You're like, oh, that's Doug Jones, isn't it?
Yeah. He's like super skinny and like 1.5 taller than everybody else.
Exactly. He just like shows up and stuff, and you're like, oh, there you are. Okay. I also love the fact, like, I didn't realize this. Like, I knew he played in Pan's Labyrinth. Like I knew he played the guy with the eyes in his hand.
Yeah.
But I didn't realize he also played the other dude, the guy with the like the horns and stuff, like the good monster dude. So he played like a couple of like creatures in that. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, have to go back to that,
yeah. And the one of the ones that freaked me out the most is in what is it, Legion? Yeah, Legion. Which is technically a really cheesy movie, but there's a couple of sequences in that movie where I'm just like, oh my god, you guys like stepped it up here. But like they're in the middle of the desert, it's the apocalypse, they're trying to steal like the new savior baby. And the ice cream truck pulls up and like the ice cream man comes out and it's Doug Jones, but then his like arms and legs extend and his jaw unhinges and he's like, oh, monster. Oh. It is very unpleasant.
I still haven't seen that, so I'll have to check that out. It pops up on another podcast I listen to every so often. Yeah, so I've been meaning to watch it, but I haven't yet.
Yeah, because there were 2 movies that guy did that are essentially the same movie, but one is angels and one is vampires. And you're like, what?
Well, what's the other one you did? What's the vampire one?
That's what I'm trying to remember. Hold on. Let me look it up. Because it's Paul Bettany is the lead guy in both of them. And what is it called? Priest is the other one. And it's almost the same thing, except he's hunting its vampires instead of the apocalypse and, crazy angels trying to kill things.
I don't know that one.
Yeah.
Or I'm not aware of that one, at least, I don't think.
Yeah. I think they came out like a year apart or something.
Yeah.
Like, I think this was when he was like, oh no, I'm going to be
the action
hero. Yeah. And he had been doing the voice of Jarvis for a while, so he's like, I want to be on screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, they came out just under a year apart. So I don't know. And then he showed up as actual like Vision, so
yeah,
it changed. It's fine. He's still cool.
Yep. Then he was in that Star Wars movie nobody talks about.
Oh, the Solo movie?
Yeah.
I actually don't hate the Solo movie as much as most people do.
Yeah, same here. Like, again, it wasn't great, but it wasn't terrible.
Well, the thing is, it's not a, like, I think if it was just like random space movie, people would be like, oh my god, that was a really good movie. But because it's Star Wars and it's supposed to be like young Han Solo, people are just like obsessed with that fact and they couldn't let it go.
It has to be like super awesome and great and perfect in every way, sort of thing, and it wasn't. They're like, it's terrible. Yeah,
it's not even that. I think people have very specific expectations. Like, no, this is supposed to be the character, and these are the things that are supposed to happen. And when that doesn't happen, people lose their fucking shits. They go crazy. And I'm just like, you people need to relax. Like, calm down.
Yeah, just because the movie's okay, it's not the end of the world, so you don't need to freak out.
Exactly. You can get a lot. Like, there's lots of movies, I think, that are like, people complain about Live Free and Die Hard, right?
Yeah.
But I think it's a bad Die Hard movie because they've obviously forgotten who John McClane is when they made that movie. But it's a very good action movie. Like, shit blows up, you go on like an adventure, stuff happens. It's a good action movie. And I will leave it at that. That is fine, Or like another fandom that goes crazy is like the Star Trek fandom, like the new Star Trek movies. Yeah, the second and third one specifically, they're really not Star Trek movies, but they're decent movies.
Yeah.
You can't yell and scream too much about it. Like, they've done a decent job in like hiring, like picking like the right actors and all this kind of stuff, and come up with like a good story to kind of renew but not like destroy everything that came before it. I think it works.
Or the one that everyone fucking hates, so I actually don't mind, is Nemesis with Tom Hardy in it.
Oh my god, Nemesis isn't bad. No, everybody should be complaining about Insurrection. Yeah, Nemesis is fine.
Yeah, Insurrection is the one I don't fucking like, and I thought I was mixing them up, and I thought that was one that everyone was bitching about. And I'm like, how can you bitch about the one that has like friggin' Ron Perlman in it? Like, come on,
right? Like my biggest problem with Nemesis is the fact that it's in the TV show, okay, of Next Generation. There is an episode where you meet young Picard, who has a full head of hair and looks a very specific way while he's in the academy. And then
that's right.
They change all of that in the movie, and I'm just like, but we know he had hair in the academy. We know he got stabbed in the we know he's supposed to look this like a certain way. And like, yes, you can change the character, but don't change the basic looks of things. You know what I mean? It's like,
I forgot about that episode.
Yeah. And I was just like, but we know what he's supposed to look like. This isn't working. Because even if you meet him older and he's bald, fine, like the clone, fine.
Yeah.
But like when you show like he picks up like an old picture in his office of himself, I'm like, that's the wrong picture. He picked up the wrong picture. That's all I kept thinking. I'm like, what is happening here? But yes, let's not dive too far into Star Trek because I will keep on this for a while.
I know. I just need to at least bring it up at least once because it's what I do.
Yes. And I'm not really complaining about it.
Yeah, like
I'm just trying not to get lost in it.
Yeah, no, like I think it was the last episode you were saying like sometimes you try not to bring it up. And I'm like, I'm one of the people that will try to bring it up.
Exactly. Yeah, because there's a few people I know who have no interest in Star Trek whatsoever. Sacrilege.
Yeah.
So like I try to take heed, you know. And be
because I remember like the first episode when I came over, like when I came in, you're watching friggin' Next Generation.
it's a thing.
It was the flute episode too, so even one of the better ones. Even so
it's won awards and stuff. Like, come on, guys.
Yeah, and actually, funny. It was like a couple months ago at work. Like one of the guys at work that's a big Star Trek guy was talking about Star Trek and talking about that one, and then the other guy that talking to is not a Star Trek person, so like he brought it up, and I started laughing. And he's like, "Oh, you know this?" I'm like, "Of course, it's a flute episode." How do?" And then I immediately thought of coming into seeing that episode too. So so I was like, "Yep." I was like, "Yep." Like it brings everyone together. How can you not know this episode?
Yeah. One piece of trivia that I found fascinating about that episode when I found it out, and I thought was very cool. So he's on the planet, he's the old man, he's still playing the flute, but then he's talking to his son, who tells him, he's like, I'm not going to be a scientist or something. I want to be like a musician or an artist or something. That guy who plays like his adult son is like Patrick Stewart's actual son.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And I was like, what? That's crazy.
Nice.
Right? See, look, random things that I know for no reason. Boom.
Or for the specific reason to talk about it in your podcast.
Well, yeah.
It's your podcast and it's all good.
And I can do whatever I want. Yeah. Yeah, I think I've gone through all of my questions about Monster Squad. I think. I hope. I don't know. If something randomly pops into my head, then I will definitely bring it back up.
Actually, my last note is a question. Is the army got called for Dracula and Frankenstein? Like the army shows up in the end just for...
Oh, yes.
Like,
okay, yes. Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I think that's overkill a little bit, you think?
So, okay. Like, because when the army guy shows up, he asks for Eugene, okay? This actually goes back to the montage I was complaining about, where the little kid with the dog who had the mummy in his closet, crayon writes a big note that says, "Dear army guys, there are monsters, please help," something like that, Eugene. And he like crumples a piece of paper. Who knows where he sent this thing, but apparently he got to the army guys, because the army guy shows up at the end. It's like, where's Eugene? I'm like, really? You showed up for that?
Like, really? It somehow got delivered to army base, and there's the same army base that's close by, I guess. So there's an army base, and they're like, somehow got delivered.
No idea. And the thing is, it would have been delivered to them within the same day. Like,
oh yeah, because it was the next day was like the 100 years, yeah.
No, it was because they it was like that night,
or the montage was in the like that night.
Yeah, because I think so. They went to the German guy's house and they found out it was the next day, and then I think it was the next, like the montage happened like the next morning at school, I think, and then it's like that night is the midnight when the vortex was going to be open.
Okay.
Yeah,
which the vortex looked very much like the one in Army of Darkness. That was
yes.
one of my notes, which is
Yes.
actually the note above that question. Actually,
well, this one takes you into it takes you to purgatory.
yeah. So which I actually know about that is. I guess you can live in the Phantom Zone, which is why I called it initially, which I looked like the Phantom Zone, but then it turned out to be limbo.
And apparently, you don't age either.
Yeah. Because I was wondering if you died in limbo or for whatever, and then we see Van Helsing shows up and helps save the day.
Or maybe Van Helsing is just like, oh, it's been 5 minutes.
Yeah,
ooh, the vortex is back open. Yay! Yeah. But also, if I was Van Helsing and I came into a world that had like cars and all kinds of stuff and weird kids and weird outfits, I'd have been like, the fuck is happening?
Yeah, you wouldn't be like, hey Dracula, let's finish this. Wow.
Yeah, done. You know,
like what the fuck is that with the wheels? And I don't know what wheels are right now because I'm Van Helsing.
Exactly, it was crazy. But I did think the scene where the little girl's holding on to Frankenstein because she doesn't want him to go was very sweet. Yeah. It was very sweet.
Yeah,
so I'll give you that.
It was cute, yeah.
But what Frankenstein now has. Sorry, Frankenstein's monster. I have to change it.
Yeah.
Now has a teddy bear, so he'll be fine.
Yeah, so no angry tweets. We corrected ourselves.
Mm-hmm. Or should I call it just the monster? But that's just too generic when we're talking about a movie that has several monsters in it. And also, that also reminds me when the little girl's holding thing and like Dracula gets her by the face, and he can just grab the amulet out of his hand. And he's like, give me the amulet, you bitch. No, that was just unnecessary.
Very much so.
Unnecessary. Sorry. Okay, that's my last comment. I swear. Okay. Apparently, I had much more to say about this than I did.
Do you ever see like the Frankenstein movie with that was like Robert De Niro and it was like directed by like Hugh Brenna?
I did not see that one.
Okay. Then
I did for no reason see I Frankenstein. That was very bad.
Is that the Harry Potter guy one or
no? That one is Victor Frankenstein, and that movie is great.
Oh wait, no, that one's what's his face? That was Punisher guy, right?
Yeah. Was he Punisher?
Or is the other guy that looks like him?
Yeah, Aaron Eckhart.
Aaron, the guy that look like who looks like the guy that
That one was really bad. It was so bad.
Yeah, I skipped over both of those.
Yeah. No, Vic. I recommend watching Victor Frankenstein. Okay.
Because Professor X is in that too, right? James McAvoy, I think.
James McAvoy, yeah. So James McAvoy.
Right.
Plays Victor Frankenstein, he plays Frankenstein, and Daniel Radcliffe plays Igor.
Okay, I think I'm gonna have to watch that. Yeah, because
that one's good. Because their friendship in the movie is really great. Like, it's really well done.
Very nice.
Yeah. So I recommend that one. But also just beware. There's a couple of very, how do I put this? Visceral and gooey scenes, especially in the beginning. That has to do with like some bodily fluids. It's just really gross.
Okay.
Anyways, it's at the beginning. You'll get over it really quickly. It's fine.
Yeah. Okay. Power through that, and it's okay.
Yeah. So I've watched that movie several times because I just enjoy it. But every time I see that, like, there's one specific scene and I gag. Like, it's so wrong. It's so wrong.
All right, I'll have to watch that and like see if I can pick that out, and then like whatever next one we do, I'll see if it's the same.
If you remember.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I recommend. But yes. Have I watched any other? Well, we talked about the Van Helsing movie, which was bad.
Oh, I did. Did you see the talk about the movie monsters? Do you see that like the Tom Cruise?
Mummy.
Yeah, it was in the Mummy. Yeah. Did you? Yeah, I didn't see it.
It was. It's really bad. It's really bad.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, like because they were trying to do. So apparently the movie was supposed to set up a monster universe.
Yeah. Because they had that. Remember that picture that they took of everybody?
Yeah. So they set up like you meet like Dr. Jekyll, and you were going to be introduced to Mr. Hyde but they make hints of it throughout it. But Dr. Jekyll is like a rich multimillionaire dude who's got like all these artifacts from all of these things. So he does the whole thing where he's like, oh, this is from this and this is from that and this is from whatever. Like different kind of like monsters in the world. And like, you know, he mentions like a gill man or like a creature in a black lagoon or whatever. And he mentions Frankenstein, and he mentioned, what was the other monster he mentioned? I think he mentions Wolfman and a mummy. And then so the mummy is what Tom Cruise is there for no reason about, and it's like a girl this time, which is fine. Yeah. But how they use her and why she's there and all this kind of, it just makes no sense, and it turns into like a bunch of nonsense. Like it's hard for me to even like complain and explain it because it doesn't make any sense in any way, and you're just like, okay,
much like Monster Squad.
Yeah, but in a different way. like they had money, so they should know better. But yeah, it's just you're not even trying. You're not even trying at all. Because I think one of the biggest problems is like you have a lot of these studios that are trying to do the same thing Marvel did, but they have to realize Marvel made their universe in 12 years. It took them a very long time to create their universe. And a lot of these like this Mummy movie was supposed to make the universe in one movie. And I'm like, no.
And the thing was, and they didn't even like start thinking about the universe until like a couple years after Iron Man. He wasn't even, or it was like they had the idea of it, and that's why they put in Sam Jackson at the end, or like the teaser credit. But that was like after they're like, yeah, maybe just in case.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't because there was another movie or two and they were like, okay, yeah, maybe we can do this, and that's where the
it was the Incredible Hulk was the first one, then it was Iron Man, and then they did was the third one Thor? Was the third one the first Avenger? Captain America.
I think it would have been I think Iron Man 2 takes in like the same like week as like the Hulk and Thor sort of thing, because they all happened at the same time sort of thing.
Oh yeah. All those first movies technically happened in the same week.
Because Coulson goes from where he's trying to make the that element, and then he's like, oh, I go do this thing, and it's going out to New Mexico to go see Thor's hammer. Yeah. Sort of thing.
Yeah. He shows up and he finds
and I think in that scene too where he does like the news, I think you see like the Hulk like one of the screens, like the Hulk's like was like a couple
destroying stuff.
They like on the campus or whatever, where use the Stark tech and shit, like that scene is like projected somewhere in that movie. Mm-hmm. I remember seeing it.
Yeah.
Like in the background.
This is the thing that bothers me about these people who want to make these universes now.
It took a couple years for them to be like, this is a thing, not just Iron Man starts it all, and it's all.
Everybody's there in one movie. And
it was all pinned on him, but it was after the fact. It wasn't like he's going to start fucking everything. It's all on him.
Yeah, exactly. So I was just very like, this is not. I see what you're doing, and it's like
maybe have the idea and then like test the waters first, and not be like, okay, after one or two movies, they're like, yeah, this is what we're doing, just to see if it works first,
or even just concentrate on the movie that you're doing, and then the next movie will make the connection. You can do it that way as well. Yeah, So, but the movie didn't make enough money, so they're like, "Screw this! We're not making a monster universe." All right.
That was the last we heard of it.
And honestly, I was fine with it because, I'm not a huge fan. That's okay. Let me put it this way: I'm not a huge fan of the person Tom Cruise. I think he's kind of an ass.
Yeah.
But I like the movies that he makes. Like, it makes me upset, but I like the movies that he makes. And that was one of the first movies in a very long time where I was just like, "What is this garbage that you signed up for?" Like, what is this? Like, what's wrong with you?
What made you say yes to this movie?
And then, like, a week later, he released the next, like, Mission Impossible movie. And I'm like, oh, there we are. Okay, that's fine. We can do this.
Yeah, just make everyone forget about this shitty movie. It's all good.
It's just fine.
When is the next Impossible movie coming out?
I don't know, actually.
If it wasn't this summer, it must be next then, or spring.
But my question is, so after Mission Impossible Fallout, where he finally stops like the big bad guy that they've been Oh no, it's Dead Reckoning 2023. Anyways, where they cut off the head of this crazy organization. I don't understand where they're going with this, but this is apparently Dead Reckoning is a part 1.
Yeah,
So does that mean
it's like a two? It's probably like a two-parter. Yeah.
Yeah. So does that mean is this going to be the end of it? Like I
Yeah,
don't know.
probably. Yeah. So it's probably like what they're doing with the most recent James Bonds, where like the Quantum of Solace people were actually a part of Spectre, and so it's like just a bigger head, I guess.
Well, that
Like
was
they
they
didn't
were
cut they
that
didn't
was
cut
technically part of the original stuff too.
oh, I guess whatever, but you know what I mean. But yeah, so I guess that's probably what they're doing is they cut off the real head. It's like
Mm-hmm.
the next big head.
Yeah,
Probably
something. I don't know.
would be my
But
guess at least.
I'm gonna watch it because
Yeah,
if they can, I was so surprised when I watched Fallout how good it was. I
yeah,
was just like, how are you keeping this shit up?
yeah,
Like it was awesome.
and yeah, Cavill was a good bad guy in that too.
Oh, he was so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Speaking of friggin' Henry Cavill, like for this will be the last time we talk about is there. I was looking at a list of like the stars before there were big movies and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like he was a kid in The Count of Monte Cristo, like the Jim Caviezel, Guy Pearce Count of Monte Cristo.
I did not watch that movie.
What? Oh no! Oh,
No.
it's really good. I usually really suggest watching the movie. It's yeah. Jim Caviezel now is kind of a gone off the rails a little bit, but like this is back when we were still good. It's actually a really good movie. I would highly suggest watching that movie.
Okay, so I have to get on that one.
It's actually probably one of my favorite movies. It's really good.
Yeah, no,
this is one of the times where I'm not just saying that I like, not saying I like it. It's actually a really good movie.
Okay. You're like, no, legitimately good movie.
Yeah,
just look at it. Yes.
Yeah. So and he plays like he plays. There's like a kid in the movie, like you'll probably see it. I've seen that movie fucking so many times, and it's probably been a couple years since I've seen it. And as soon as I saw the picture, I was like, holy shit, that's 100% him.
But that's like I was watching Stardust recently, and I was just like, wait a sec, is that Henry Cavill? What? Because he plays the other suitor to the girl that the main guy likes, who like he crosses the wall for to get like the Stardust.
I don't know that movie.
What? That's a good one. You should no, it's like a legitimate good movie. It is based on a Neil Gaiman book. But I read the book, and the book sucks. The movie is great.
Neil Gaiman, you've got my attention.
Yeah, it's got
Robert De Niro.
Yeah, Robert De Niro. Isn't the main guy the guy who plays Daredevil?
Yeah, Charlie Cox. Yeah, Claire Danes. Magneto.
Yeah,
Sienna Miller. She's been in movies.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't think I've seen anything with her in it. No, wait. Was she in that movie with James Bond in it that made him famous? Was that her?
Layer Cake, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I've seen a movie with her then, yeah.
Yeah, you watched Layer Cake, you're like, oh, that's why I got hired for James Bond. Gotcha.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, that movie's fucking yeah. I think it was a couple 2 or 3 J Bond movies in before I saw that, and I was like, yeah, that's a great movie.
Yeah. Yeah, she was an Alfie. Layer Cake.
I haven't seen that yet. I think Layer Cake's probably the movie that I've seen her in.
Yeah. But I recommend Stardust. Stardust is also like a legitimately.
All right, I'll watch Stardust. You watch Count of Monte Cristo, and that whenever we do our episode next year,
and we got to talk about it. Yeah. Ian McKellen's. Oh yeah, no, he's just the narrator in it, but he's still really good.
So any last thoughts on Monster Squad?
No, like I said, I keep saying I'm gonna stop talking about it, so I'm gonna stop talking about it now.
So let's go on to the better monster movie with Monsters Inc.
What, are you the host now? Like, what is happening here? I'm so confused. What?
Yes, I'm Tracy James now. No.
Like I said, all of my notes are questions for very different reasons. Okay. So the thing with Monsters Inc. is I love this movie, and I think this movie is great and perfect for what it is. But watching it this time, I just have questions about the logistics of
everything.
Things.
My main question is, how like the science behind this the screen's powering stuff? Like, how does that work? There was
right?
like what's the science behind that?
Who knows?
Then the doors are they like portals or like magic or like science?
Well, exactly, like who discovered these, like, you can trap these portals indoors to get into people's rooms, A, and B, once through the portals, who said screaming is a power source, and how is this actually harnessed? Because they say they capture the screaming, but and like this tank on their side of the door, but how does it actually work? The capturing of this thing, is it like a vacuum? Is it just getting sucked into it? Like, is like it, like, because they show, like, when they open it, it's not like a gas or a liquid, it's like the actual screen comes back out. So you're just like, but how is that working exactly? Like, you know what I mean? It's very complex, because even when they, at the end of the movie, when it turns to like laughter, they find it's a stronger energy source, but at the same time it's being captured the same way the screams were. But how is that actually working? Like, how does that
Like the characters like capture like emotions, like the emotion sounds, I guess, maybe, and it just and because like screaming and laughter maybe are, I guess, connected, or I guess not emotions or whatever.
Exactly.
So maybe the same thing, maybe.
Yeah.
That's so yeah. So like again, magic or science,
Or a combination of the two.
Or it's like Thor, and it's both.
It's both, exactly.
The Thor rules, I guess. Sorry,
yeah.
Thor rules.
Well, that's the thing. Like Thor brings this up, but I think it's just like, it's true. Like, if you don't understand how something works, it's magic, essentially. But if you understand how it works, it's science.
Because we speaking last movie, we brought Van Helsing into now. Show them like a TV. Holy fuck, it's magic.
Yeah, even if it's 1987 technology, like they had walkie-talkies. What the fuck?
Like cell phones. What the hell? That's magic.
That's magic. It's magic, I tell you.
Oh, it's magic.
Okay, I'm gonna stop. It's fine. Yeah. So, and like, another question I had was, so you find out that kids are not actually poisonous to, like, the monsters very quickly on. Like, they're not doing anything. But I was like, but who started the quote unquote myth that kids are poisonous to, like, stop monsters from, like, getting too close or touching?
Yeah, it's probably just propaganda to help them scare better, maybe.
Yeah. But then I actually wrote down like a theory behind it.
All right.
Right.
All right.
So my theory is, when they first got these portals, right? Like with anything, germs, you have to have an immunity to certain germs and viruses, right? And kids are known for being dirty and germ.
They're germ factories. The kids are the worst.
So originally, when the monsters went through, they'd get sick and die because they pick up like a basic cold or something like that.
Yeah, the kid sneezes on you. 5 seconds later, you're on the ground.
You're on the ground, exactly. Or you're sneezing, or your hair is falling out, or something crazy is going on. So for them, they're just like, oh my god, like, these kids are dangerous, they're poisonous. But because the germs had been brought into the monster world, and immunity was held by the monster people, like monsters in their universe, so that's why they're not, like, kids aren't dangerous to them anymore.
You never bring in the kid blankets. The blankets will get you every time.
Oh my god, absolutely nuts. But that's what I think it might be. So it wasn't even that it was a myth. It was like, no, it's a thing that actually happened. People were getting sick, and so to them, kids came across as being poisonous, and that was perpetuated in their society for so long. Nobody ever went to revisit it, because they're like, no, this is facts, because that's why they have like a whole system about it and all that kind of stuff. But they didn't realize that changed. So that's what I think it might be.
And then one of my questions is with that is like, the scare record. Is it like the loudest scream, or is it like the most screams in a night?
I think it's the most screams in like in a time period, because they had like that numbers chart, right? So I don't think it was a loudness thing. I think it was like, or maybe like the number of canisters they had, or something.
How would they count it? Would it be like duration at times the loudness, maybe?
Well, I mean,
they have to like get those numbers somehow. It's not just.
I think it's, as I said, I think it's the canister.
Yeah, what's 1 unit of a scream? I guess is what I'm asking.
I have no answer to that question. I don't know. According to what I saw in the canister, it's about a quarter of an inch. I don't know.
Like, is it like energon cubes? You could just put into cubes and then go. There's always like a gas, or is it liquid when it's in the canister?
Well, and this is the problem, right? I have no idea. But one thing I did notice is that so their switches, instead of being on and off switches, they're dials. So you can monitor how much of the scream is coming in, I guess, or the energy from the scream is coming in. I don't know. It's a thing. Again, no answers to these questions. And this is why I suddenly have questions, because the plot of the story and how it works out, the characters, everything in this movie is great. It's just great. I did finally start to realize the animation is like, oh yeah, this is old.
Yeah, I think too, like at the time, I think with animation, it was like a big deal because I think they like had like a new way to do like his like fur or something like that. And I think it was like a big deal or something.
That was a huge deal when his fur, yeah.
Yeah, because I remember that. Yeah, this movie came out like what, 2002, 2003, like
2001.
Oh fuck! Oh shit!
Mm-hmm.
I'm old.
Yeah.
Because I think I hadn't seen this movie probably since like when it came out, because I remember like that year it came out, my niece, well, like I would think she was born in like 98, so she probably been like 3 years old at this point. Yeah, so she was like, the movie was a big deal. She wanted it. She's like, oh, it's just incorporated.
Your niece is almost 30 years old.
No, yeah, she's 23 and has a 2-year-old kid herself now.
What? Wait,
yeah,
23. Shouldn't she be older than that?
Or
am I bad?
Or it was 23 when the kid was born. So so 98. So what days now?
I hate thinking about these things.
So she's like, so like 24, 25. Yeah, fuck it. I bought her this movie for Christmas that year. She watched it once and got scared and didn't watch it again.
Oh no.
So it's like, I need to watch this again, because like every time I think of this movie, I think of her being all like super excited the entire year to get it, and I bought it for her, and then she watched it once and got scared.
No, I love this movie.
Yeah,
so there are definitely there's very high intensity moments in this movie for sure. But I think that's a thing with all Pixar movies. Like they're either like emotionally intense or content intense, and you're just like, whoa.
They don't pull the punches.
No, they don't.
Especially because like that scene where like the boss guy brings him in to like help like do like teach scares and stuff, and then she just happens to come in, and he's like fine and does this big scare because he's a big scary monster, and she's actually he sees that he scared her and stuff,
and he realized what they've been doing to these little kids. Yeah, well, because I mean, I think it's one of those things where it's like you're doing something good, quote unquote, but you're doing harm to other people.
Not looking the other side of it.
Yeah. So until you experience that other side of it, then you're just like, oh shit.
Maybe
this isn't the great thing to do. Yeah. So I mean, he learns a lesson, and he realizes laughter is better than being scary. So he can still be a big fluffy kitty.
Kitty. Awesome. She was fucking so adorable.
So adorable.
Yeah.
Apparently to record, so she was a little kid at the time. Her name is Mary Gibbs. She was like 4 years old, I think, at the time that did the audio for Boo.
Yeah.
And they couldn't get her to record in a studio because she wouldn't sit still.
Because it's a 4-year-old.
They put her in like a room, and somebody was like following her around with a microphone. And she like made sounds and like played with things.
Just being a kid.
Yeah. And it worked. I mean, it sounds great.
100%. Yeah, definitely sounds like a kid. Yeah, because I have like two nieces and 2 nephews and stuff. Yeah, so so I've definitely don't have my own kids, but I've definitely dealt with a lot of kids myself.
Yeah, and she did a great job.
Yeah,
it's like the perfect cuteness level. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely 100%. Yeah, that was definitely one. So that kid is really cute.
Yeah. Works out well. Apparently she did voices in Inside Out as well.
I haven't seen that yet. that's the one with like the emotions and stuff, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. That's another one that wants to like break your heart for no reason, and you're just like, what the fuck is your problem?
Yeah. So it's that one, and then Turning Red. I watch too because that one's like set in Toronto, and it's set. It it looks like it's like set, like most of it's in Chinatown, and I live just I guess I'm technically living in Chinatown, but like on the outskirts of it. So I want to see if I can like see my place if it happens to show up in there. Which probably not because I'm going to dox myself. I don't care. I live on Beverly Street, so they probably don't come down here. But I just want to see if it actually does. I know I'm pushing it, but I just want to see.
It really was. Watching it was a lot of fun just to be like, oh look, it's Spadina, and oh look, I can see the CN Tower from your house, and oh look, there's this. But a couple of times I'm just like, where is that supposed to be? Like, what is that? But it was fine. I mean, I think they end up in the Sky Dome at one point in time. Because there's a concert in it. I can't remember if it's the Sky Dome or the ACC they're supposed to be in. But I still thought it was great.
Nice. Yeah, it's that, and then I need to rewatch Scott Pilgrim to see if like I recognize anywhere because I saw I think I saw like when I first like moved to Newmarket, saw like how only like was in Toronto like a handful of times. I didn't really go around, but
trust me, you're gonna recognize a lot of it.
Yeah, I mean, now that this is like the second time I've lived in Toronto. Yeah, so
but the funny thing is, a lot of the locations in that movie are gone now because like. So there's a scene where they're in like a second cup. That second cup is gone. There's a scene, Honest Ed's.
Yeah, it's gone. Yeah. And the Sonic Boom there, and is the one on was the one on Blur. The Sonic.
Yeah, and that one's gone. Yeah.
Where on Blur was it? Do you know?
The Sonic Boom.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I can't even picture it in my head. Like I watched the movie, like because you can picture it when you watch the movie.
Is it where the BMV is now? Is it that place? That's like that.
It's somewhere on that. It's on that end, close to because they were walking up the street over there, and they were coming out of the Pizza. That pizza's still there though.
Yeah. I've been to the pizza. Yeah, like I remember I've seen it still. Yeah, I've been Bathurst. Yeah, because I used to live in Bathurst. Yeah, so I lived like, but further south. And
I think they come out of a Sneaky D's at one point in time, which is on College.
Yeah, or it's College and Bathurst.
Bathurst, over there. Yeah. So there's definitely like a few places where just like, oh, I know, I've been there. I know.
Yes, I need to rewatch that one. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Have you ever? You know what? No, I'm not going to ask because I've got to do that in a couple of years. So we're going to leave it. We're going to skip it. It's fine. I was going to start asking Scott Pilgrim questions, but I'm like, no.
Oh yeah. You
gotta leave that info for a while. Yeah.
No vegan diet, no vegan powers. That's all I'll say.
Oh, it's a great scene. Yeah. I love the vegan police. They're awesome.
Yeah. I love Thomas Jane. He's the best.
Yeah. I still don't understand why people didn't like his Punisher movie. His Punisher movie was
it was good. I enjoyed that one.
I loved that one.
Yeah.
It was so like overly melodramatic, especially like the death scene at the end. I was just like, I'm sorry, you're pulling the bad guy behind a car that slowly rolls into a parking lot where you made the cars blow up into a skull.
Yeah, it flames and make a perfect skull. Yeah.
Like, what is this?
Yeah.
It was great. Yes. So yeah, that's what I call like pure comic book art. Like that was good stuff.
Saint.
Yeah. So good.
It was a good movie.
What other questions do I have about this? Okay. How do you think the doors in that room in the end are sorted?
He said it's probably just random doors, so they probably just put them up. Yeah, so like, I don't know.
No, they're clearly okay.
Well, they actually, I had to go back there because going back to earlier, they had like they showed the East Coast thing, so I guess they'd have to do it per region or whatever was nighttime, a la Little Monsters with like where they had to crawl out from under the bed where it has to be nighttime. So I probably for time zone probably.
Okay, so I understand that, but okay, so that's the part where they're getting the screens. But you know when the doors go up and they go back into like their storage area?
Yeah.
And they're clearly sorted. There's millions of doors back there and stuff. But if you're paying attention to where the doors go, like when they're doing like the chase sequence and they make Boo laugh and they start going through all the different doors. You're like a door that goes to like a tropical island is beside a door that goes to like Norway or something, and you're just wait a second.
Because that just takes away my theory then.
Because I'm like, wait, at first I was like, okay, it makes sense if they're like sorted regionally, but even if they're sorted regionally and there's this many, it doesn't make any sense that they would be like in a row above each other. To me, that doesn't make any sense. But then I was thinking, well, maybe they're alphabetical order by just like alphabetical order, like just the name of the place,
like the kid name maybe, or something, maybe
the kid's name. So I was like, I don't understand how these things are sorted.
Because that would make sense. Because like it could be like a kid with like AA first and last name, but it could be like in Russia, and the next kid could be in fucking Canada or whatever, in 2 different time zones.
Exactly.
Or I guess two different time zones in Russia, because I think Russia has like 11 time zones or some shit. It's so big.
So, but then my other problem with it is, so the doors are slotted into like columns, right? Where one door comes out at a time. But my question is, if it's sorted that way and they're in time zones and they want to get, Steve Aaron, who lives in Wisconsin, and then they want to get Zach Zukowski, also from Wisconsin, and they're at like the back of one of these things, that means they got to pull out all the doors from there to get it out to do whatever. I was very confused. So my brain started overthinking these things. It's fine.
That's like a sorting system that has a lot of logistical problems in it.
And then I had one more comment about that. One more.
What's that?
So when Boo laughs, all of the doors get activated, and the monsters end up in places where it's daytime, right? Because if the door's activated, you can just open it and walk through it, right?
Yeah.
But if it's daytime and like some kid's just in this room trying to get like his pants to go to school, and it's not a door that they're using, they could just these kids could just end up in the monster world, which seems kind of reckless to me.
That would come back in. So
like I said, I stopped analyzing the movie and just analyzing the logistics, because this movie is great and perfect. So
and it does have John Goodman in it. I always say that John Goodman is fucking awesome. You don't see enough of John Goodman.
He's so good at playing like a good guy and a bad guy.
And to take it back to Red State, he's fucking awesome in that movie too, where he's like the FBI agent or whatever.
But even Cloverfield Lane, him, the creepy bunker dude.
He was so good as that fucking as that guy.
Because I'm just sitting there thinking, like, how could John Goodman be this guy? Like, he's just like a funny dude.
He's
whatever.
This guy is too creepy to be John Goodman.
Yes, he was so good. I was just why are you making me so uncomfortable?
Stop making me hate you right now. You're too good for me to not like you.
That was like what's his name? John Lithgow, when he did that season of Dexter.
He was so good at it.
I stopped watching the show because of the first episode of that season.
Because that was like season 1 and that season 4 were the only good seasons of that show.
That's because when you first meet his character so I'm guessing it's season 4, I stopped watching it. Like he's killing some girl in the bathtub. And I was just like, I can't look at this. Like it just creeped me out so much.
He was so good,
I just couldn't do it. I was like, I'm done. I'm out. This is over.
And I'm currently going through Community right now as well. And John Goodman as the vice dean of the air conditioner school is again so fucking weird but so good.
Like he's serious but hilarious at the same time.
That's what's up. So you have to look away. I'm going through some things.
So good. He's so good in everything.
He's the best. Definitely don't see enough John Goodman.
So I've asked several of my questions, or do you have any more questions?
No, actually, I think I think the only questions I had were related to the Scream record or the Scare record.
So
and the portal doors, if they were portals or doors or magic or science.
I think it's all of the above is a good answer. Yeah.
The next question is for Monsters University, though. That's my next question.
Okay, so I do have another question that I was thinking about.
What's your question?
My question is, does the world work differently, like time work differently in the monster world than the human world? Because in the monster world, Boo has been gone for 2 days.
Oh yeah, I was thinking about that too.
2 days there. And so they just walk back into her room. Nothing's changed. Everything is fine. So, like, wouldn't her parents be freaking out? Wouldn't there be cops in there? Wouldn't they be, like, looking for...
where's my baby?
Yeah, that kind of thing. So I was thinking, like, does that maybe, you know, in the human world, it's been 2 minutes, and in the real world, in the monster world, it's been 2 days? Like, yeah. Like, I was thinking about that, too. I was just like, this is freaking me out.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I think I did think about that one point. It was like where the parents think about it. She's there for a while, yeah.
So, I don't know. I thought it was interesting. And did I have any more questions? Talked about the doors. Oh, her singing in the bathroom was very cute. That's not a question. It's just a mention of it. Yes. Oh, I was very impressed by their job training. Because I've definitely had many jobs where they're just like, oh, welcome to thing. Here's a booklet. Okay, go.
Like,
wait, sorry, what am I doing? I don't know what I'm doing. Thank you. Yeah, their job training was great. And also I do also have a question about Monster University. So you go.
So like I get to like where like teenager Mike was going into the university for the first time. He looks down into like there's like the fish monsters.
Okay.
Like what are the fish monsters for? Like, because there had to be like water doors for them to go through because they went through like a door in the water. So are they going to like submarines? Are they going to Atlantis?
Like, maybe. Oh my God, maybe Atlantis does exist, and there's kids there with closet doors that they go through too. Oh,
that was my thing, and then also too like is are there like ghost monsters? Like like monsters that are like that look like ghosts or ghosts like
apparitions kind of
or
thing?
or they're ghosts like a totally separate thing. Like there's monsters and there's ghosts.
Well, no, I think ghosts and monsters are different things.
Yeah, so I wonder if there's one that's like a Slimer thing where you can pass through him and stuff, and he has stuff.
There is. So we do see in this movie that there is like a dude that's just like gelatinous. Because remember, they pass him in the morning, and he goes over a grate, and then he falls through.
Oh, yeah, that's right. It has his teeth.
Okay. Which also I think is weird that his teeth stay behind, but I don't know.
Yeah,
maybe his teeth are like glasses. You know, it's just like an extra thing to help him.
Or their dentures. Or need them to actually eat and stuff.
Yes. So there are gelatinous monsters. So we figured that.
Okay. Yeah. So and that could be mistaken as for ghosts, like when their kids like half asleep at night when they get scared.
Exactly. But so I figured out a continuity thing with Monsters University and Monsters Inc.
All right.
So when so in that same scene when they're first leaving to go to work at the beginning of the movie, Mike Wazowski makes a joke about how Sully's been jealous of his looks since the 4th grade, but
they meet the university.
Exactly. And I was like, what? Come on, guys, put it together. Yes. So I was like, what? That's craziness.
I know that's one of the things where where like the second movie is actually like the prequel or whatever, is that they'll always
you gotta go back and check your notes, guys.
Yeah, you gotta have a good continuity supervisor for that stuff to pick up that stuff like that.
Exactly.
Yeah, make them make their money. Or make sure it's a good one where that's worth them, or that's worth the extra money. Yeah.
So but yeah, I picked up on that immediately. And I was like, oh my God, I have to talk to Pixar. You're doing something wrong. Maybe it's before they got good at their continuity thing.
I hope somebody was fired for that blunder.
Come on, get out, sir. I did make an interesting observation though. Because throughout watching this movie, we see all sorts of different body shapes and almost no body shape or creature that's the same. And though there are some creatures who don't wear clothing, many of them do. So I think in their world, clothing is very expensive because it always have to be custom and not everybody wears it.
Oh yeah, everything would have to be custom. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because there's that one monster in like a university that's like that weird like upside down U shape that has like the weird arms and stuff.
Right.
Like because obviously like regular clothing is not going to fit on him.
Mm-hmm.
And then of course then there's Mike, and then there's Sully. There's like
completely different body shapes and sizes. Like I don't think like we're giving out jackets today, small, medium, and large. I don't think that would work. They have to take everybody's measurements.
Yeah, and then here's a jacket with the 4 arms, and here's the one with 2 arms on the same side.
Yeah,
sort of thing.
Right. Yeah, that's one observation that I made. I was just like, clothing would be crazy expensive. That's nuts. Because also like a lot of people, like Sully doesn't wear clothes regularly, neither does Mike actually. No. But there's Mr. Water News that has 800 legs, but he wears a jacket and tie. That would be cool. Actually, none of the scaring monsters wear clothes now that I think about it. Interesting. They could be arrested for being perverts.
Or maybe that makes it extra layer scary, is that the monster is also naked.
I'll be like, oh,
like, oh my god, it's scary. And holy fucking look at that thing between his legs. Oh, what's going to do with that?
Too scary. Oh my god, that's true. Now that you say that, all of the scary monsters were dudes. And there was only 2 women even though she ended up being number 1, but she did paperwork, and the other girl was like Jennifer Tilly's character was the receptionist.
Yeah.
So sexist, guys.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, there were 3. Then there was the lady who's taking the little kids around as well, who's like the babysitter.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, so 3 days. Yeah, and then too, like with speaking of like the Steve Buscemi's character, when they were in the bathroom when they were like hiding Boo, like it showed he can walk on like he has like sticky hands or whatever. He could have crawled on the ceiling and looked down instead of kicking the doors to see which one is which. Because he made himself invisible, then just start kicking the doors. Like you know which way he's going to go. Like what like he's going down the line.
Yeah,
you could just gone invisible and walked up and be like, "Oh, kid, it's right here."
But maybe that's like a unwritten rule kind of thing. Like even if you can stick on walls, don't crawl on the ceiling in a bathroom. Like, and so he just did.
But either way, he's kicking the doors in, so it's the exact same thing. He's seeing from the beginning, top or the door. Like,
yeah, that is true. But it does make the scene funnier.
Yeah, true, but yeah, he could be like, "Oh, there it is."
Yes. But I think it's so funny how Mike's foot keeps falling into the toilet, and then when they're out of the bathroom, you see like his legs are wet, and he's got like toilet paper stuck to his foot. I'm like, that's some good continuity hilarity. Like that was really funny.
Yeah, actually, that was actually one of the questions. Is like, have you ever seen like toilet paper actually stick to somebody's shoe before?
Yes.
Really?
Yes. Oh yeah, I've definitely seen people walk around.
Oh, that's yeah. I always thought that was like a movie trope. I've never actually seen that in real life.
I don't think it happens as often as people.
Well, obviously, yeah, but yeah.
It
wasn't even a thing I've seen once. Yeah, so it wasn't like, oh, okay, it can happen, sort of thing.
Yeah, no, it can definitely happen. I've definitely seen it. But no, the one that always gets me is the one where the toilet paper is like stuck in like someone's pants, and you're just like, how would that
how
even
does that
happen?
Work?
How would that, like, you're telling me you didn't rip it off of the toilet paper roll while you're wiping your own butt, left it there, pulled up your pants, and walked out with it, and then it finally ripped and you're walking with it? Like, that doesn't make any sense.
No. Yeah, that's how does that happen?
Right?
I've never seen that.
Logistically, it seems crazy.
Yeah, I've never seen that happen. So I'm glad I've never had to think about that before. Because that's
no, like I've seen that in like movies. Not in like real life.
Oh, okay.
No.
Okay, that kind of makes more sense. Yeah. Even that you would think you'd feel it. You would think.
Yes, something like, come on, guys. But yes. But yeah, I feel like we're not doing Monsters Inc. justice simply because I don't have anything to say about it because it's so good.
Yeah.
But I was just like the thing is, Monster Squad was so bad we can't like it was bad in a way that you have very specific things to talk about. So we had lots of things to say. Yeah. But Monsters Inc. is so good in a way that we can't really say anything.
Yeah, there's nothing really specifically to narrow down,
Yeah. It's like I love Sully. I like Mike Wazowski. Like the scene where Sully where he thinks Boo's been crushed into the cube and he's walking around crying.
He's like, ooh. Oh,
that was a great scene.
And then my first note for Monsters University is that little Mike is really cute.
Yes. I don't know. Tiny baby beings are just really cute, unless you're like moles or something. Those things are creepy.
Yeah.
Yes. Anything that is born looks like a wiggling, hairless grossness. That's no. But as soon as there's like a little bit of fur on it and whatever, we're good to go.
You're getting there. You're okay.
Exactly. Like baby kangaroos and stuff. You're like, ew. Baby koalas.
I don't think I've ever seen a baby koala before. So
no, a baby koala after it has like a little bit of fur on it and stuff. Adorable. Don't get me wrong. But before it has fur on it, no.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I'm definitely not going to look that up.
And to be honest, baby human, like fresh out of the womb, baby humans, like a week old or less, they're disgusting. I'm sorry, they're ugly. Okay?
Baby humans are the worst. Actually, baby humans are probably like the worst babies on this planet. They're like because any other thing, they could like start walking within minutes or hours.
Yes.
Or swimming, whatever. Mm-hmm. And it takes freaking baby human, like what, 18 months?
Well, it takes like 6 months for them to hold up their head. So
like out in the wild, if we were like animal like, we'd be wiped out a long time ago because baby humans are the worst babies.
Well, they say it's because proportionate to our bodies, babies have very large heads that are very heavy.
Yeah.
Whereas most animals, when they're born, like they're proportionately born the same proportions as like an adult.
Yeah.
Right. And because their brain doesn't have to develop as much as a human, they also get away with like advancing faster because they just have to do like, I have to know to walk, to run, and to eat something.
And loud noises are bad.
Yeah. Right. Whereas like humans have to come up with like linguistics and emotional maturity and just understanding certain complexities and all that kind of stuff. So
all the fun stuff it is to be human.
Exactly. Right. And that takes many, because they say your brain technically isn't fully developed until you're about 25 years old. And I think that's why young people are so stupid. And then you hit 25, then your brain's done doing stuff and you can still be stupid, but you're stupid compared to before.
I started thinking you're smart, and then not realizing.
Yeah. You're like, I'm an idiot, right? Yeah. Okay. I got it. Okay. Thank you.
As long as we're on the same page, okay. I just want to make sure.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So yeah, I think that's part of it. But yeah, baby humans are the worst. That's fine. Yeah. And they always have like snot coming out of their nose. Like things are always coming out of crevices, and you're just like, you need to not do this. Thank you very much. I don't want any part of this.
No.
Yeah. They're a lot. They're a lot.
Yeah. So I use like that little bit of like maternal instincts or paternal instincts with my like sister's kids, and then got that away, and it's all good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's all you need. Well, that's the best part of not having your own kids. Like, even if you like kids, the kids that are around you, when they start, acting up or got to change diapers, you give them back to their
parents. You're like, okay, I've had enough. Here you go.
Yeah, you're boom, take this.
Yeah, either give them back or like they're on like, all right, go bug your parents now. They're like, okay,
exactly, done.
That's the best part.
Yeah, I tell that to my friends who want kids or have kids, and I'm like, my best part of my day is when I say, hey, go check out your mom. Thanks. It's fine. It's fine. But yes. What were we talking The movie, yes. But yes, tiny Mike Wazowski is adorable.
Yes, he was.
There you go.
Yeah.
I wonder. See, now that we've had this discussion, now I wonder, like, do you think the monsters develop like humans, like when they're born, like they're stupid and they can't do anything, or do you think they're like a giraffe that falls out and can run in like 3 seconds?
Well, because with that whole thing, yeah, they're like they were that was like a school trip, so obviously, yeah. So I think, yeah, they'd be like more like on the human scale, I think, than animals. I think I would think.
Okay, yeah, no, like that makes sense. That makes sense.
Would be my guess, yeah.
Mm-hmm. But the fact they also have like a university that teaches scaring, but then when you go to do training at the plant, it's the same stuff they're teaching you. Also confused me when I saw Monster University, because I was like, don't they teach you that at the plant?
It was like a basic scaring at university that is more like specific at or just like to finish it up, maybe.
Maybe. Mm-hmm. Oh, that actually makes me think of my another question I had. So Mr. Water News owns the company like Monsters Inc., where they collect all the scaring things and whatever. Yeah. And I think they may have mentioned that this was just one of the plants.
Yeah, so yeah, I saw it. Probably like power plants, like you gotta have like a couple for each big city or whatever sort of thing. I would.
Yeah. So does that mean like it's like a world? Like an actual other universe, like there's like a planet, and on this planet evolved these monsters, and this is what they do, but they're in a solar system, and there's a sun, and the blah 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 blah. Do you think it's like that? Or do you think it's like Discworld, where they're on the back of a turtle? Like,
I would say maybe like different like dimension, maybe. Maybe that's what the doors are, and maybe like I remember it's like different, like maybe like different Earths, like dimensional Earths, maybe. And
so you think? Oh, so you think
maybe
the doors?
Maybe it's like Monster Earth, and they're kind of going to like Human Earth, maybe. And it's like, like parallel Earths is like all like in the same spot, sort of thing, maybe.
So really, it's the same solar system, same everything, but on the planets, things evolved differently on each one. Yeah, so one developed humans and one developed monsters, maybe, and they figured out how to cross over.
Yeah, that's maybe it's how like being just like science going from like one side where they're paychecking it, going from like one inside the universe to the other. It's just dimensional, maybe.
But okay, so my question about that is, crossing open interdimensional doorways is based on watching movies and stuff. Is a difficult task, right? So like that means in the monster world, they must be much more advanced than us to be able to create interdimensional doorways to collect this energy in the first place.
But would that be any harder than going from like one side of the universe to the other, or like from like different solar systems then?
That's also very hard.
Yeah. Is it that much more of a step that it's dimensional instead of like solar system-y?
Yes, I think so.
Like those two things. Like obviously, if I'm going from like us to those two things, like those two things are probably more close together than us to them, sort of thing. Yeah. You think? But yeah, so
maybe I don't.
So like it's two sides of the same coin, sort of thing, with like the dimensional and planetary things, maybe.
Yeah, but
so if they do one, they could probably do the other. So it's like it's an either or sort of thing. Like I don't think one is more hard to figure out than the other. Like if they can do one, they can do the other.
Yeah. Okay. But my thing is, okay, so if the two sides of this doorway, like Monster World and Human World, has developed the same way, right, over time, and from what we see, they have relatively the same technology and the same whatever. Like they have TVs, they go in elevators, they got cars, blah 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 blah. Cars have a couple more wheels on it, but that's about it.
Yeah.
They seem to be on the same technological level, right?
Yeah, so that's why that's why I think more dimensional than
planets. Agreed. But what I'm saying is we have not figured out how to go to the other side of the universe. We also have not figured out how to open interdimensional doorways. and their scientists must be far beyond us or something.
So maybe that's
for them to do that.
Maybe that's ties back into the time dilation thing with who being on the monster side for like 2 days, where it's only like a couple months or whatever. So maybe like maybe the monster side goes faster, so like they were able to get to the science of crossing dimensions or whatever faster than we were. So that maybe they're 50 years ahead of us, 50, 100, 200 years ahead of us. But we all started at the same time, but they just go faster, maybe.
Maybe. Okay.
That could be also a thing.
Yeah.
And then that could also tie into that maybe humans turn into the monsters. So we're all monsters.
What? You think we're like
it goes from metaphorical monsters to real monsters. If we're going with if they're going with the dimensional time thing.
Yeah. Interesting. So you think the monsters are just like a higher evolved set of humans? I mean, that's kind of possible.
And that just made me think that that was a question I didn't actually put down, is that like they saw Yeti in the first one because they got banished, but yeah, and in university they were like friends with them. Like when they first started in the mailroom, he was their boss.
Yeah.
That's
true.
Did they
like they had like, known about the stories about him being banished, but when they got there, they didn't know.
Yeah, that was like in Ink. That was like the first time they met them. But in university, they're like, "Hey, that's our boss from when we first started."
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, I just thought about it. Yeah.
I didn't catch up on that one. Yeah. Okay, yes. But I did like the fact that in Monsters Inc. they did bring up like where monsters in our world comes from. It's just banished monsters from their world. So like they bring up with Bigfoot as well.
Yeah.
And there was one other they said
there's a third one that I don't remember.
I can't remember what the third one is now.
Yeah, and then also too, that was what we were thinking, like that means like we should have seen more monsters in Monster World that looked like our monsters, and not unless there's no two monsters that are the same.
Yeah. So then it shocks me as well that there's only like 3 monsters that's ever been banished to Earth over God knows how long.
Yeah, over there. So I guess as long as there's doors, I guess maybe.
I guess so. Well, but the thing is like the monster world has built their whole infrastructure on this technology. So they've been doing this for a long time, and the fact that they've only had to get rid of three monsters that way is pretty good, which means they've got a high standard of like work and stuff.
Those monsters got some good work ethic.
Yeah, they do. That's good stuff. I like it. Well done. They're doing it right.
And just to wrap for that, and because we know how Pixar likes to kind of throw some Easter eggs in, like there was a Easter egg in another movie where like Sully's like fur was like on like a toilet seat like cover or something like that. Do you remember what, or like a carpet or something? Do you remember what movie that was?
Oh yes. I remember.
Yeah, I remember that.
There's 2 monsters because there's I think it's in The Incredibles 2 or like a poster. One of them is wearing a shirt that has all like it was a Hawaiian looking shirt, but it's actually the monsters from Monsters Inc. on the shirt.
Nice.
And one of them, Sully's fur is in the background.
Or something, or it's like a carpet or something.
Sully fur in background. No, this is how to animate the fur. Oh, it's in a Toy Story short called Partysaurus Rex.
And here I thought it was like in an actual like a movie proper.
Yeah.
Okay, that's less exciting.
That's less interesting. Okay. Anyways, back to Monsters Inc. Yeah. So I spent most of the movie trying to analyze how their world functions instead of, worrying about the movie, because I still enjoyed watching the movie either way.
Yeah.
But you said you haven't watched it in a long time. So
Yeah.
how did you enjoy this
Yeah,
rewatch?
yeah. Going back to it and watching it, I found it very enjoyable. I wasn't like, oh, this is a slog to get through. Like, oh, it was like I remember it being good, and it actually wasn't. It was actually paced fairly well, I thought. And yeah, it just went in like like even if I was like I wasn't stopped taking notes, I wasn't like on my phone like near the end of the movie and stuff. So it was definitely like wish I had watched it like again like earlier than I have now, because I said like it's probably been like almost 20 years since I've seen it, if not 20 years.
Well, I'm glad it still holds up for you, because it definitely holds up for me, like I keep saying. One thing about Pixar movies is that they have forced kids movies to elevate to a certain level, because they are the masters of making a fun, simple movie that little kids will enjoy, like with just their colors and the antics and stuff, but also having content that adults will love, So like you don't have a problem sitting and watching Monsters Inc. 800 times with your kid without your brain melting out of your ears. It's good.
Yeah, it actually has like a proper story and stuff, and so just being like, "Hey, look, we're crazy kids."
Yeah, which is the problem with Monster Squad, right?
Oh fuck! And also too, even though it was like written by Shane Black, you would think he'd have like a better like the plot development and stuff.
But sometimes it has to do more with like editing.
Yeah, because I definitely feel there's probably like a few scenes that were probably cut out. So I think I'll check that out, because I said like there's like the 20-year thing, and there's the second death, so I'll go through that.
Sorry, Shane Black wrote Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, and he put my god, I
love I think this is like came out like right before, right after he wrote Lethal Weapon too.
Yeah, but he also did The Last Boy Scout and The Long Kiss Goodnight. So
yeah.
I hated The Last Boy Scout, actually.
Yeah, it's not great. Yeah, but Kiss Kiss Bang Bang is so good though.
So good.
Fuck, I love that movie so much. Robert Downey Jr. and Val Kilmer play off each other so fucking well.
Perfectly.
Perfectly.
Wait, he also wrote Last Action Hero, which we also brought up.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Did not know that. Okay.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
All right, so I like this guy now. It's fine. He also wrote the first Lethal Weapon. He wrote Lethal Weapon 2.
Oh, you did the second one as well?
Actually, well,
but also
he did the second one. And then the character, it's just characters based on things that he wrote on 3 and 4.
But also then he wrote that second to last Predator movie, and that fucking sucked.
Oh, the Predator was really bad.
Oh, that was terrible. Yeah, because the one before that was Predators with
Wait, on the Planet? That wasn't good. What are you talking about?
I'll preface this with my thing. I liked it, but it wasn't a good movie.
No, it's not a good movie.
I think I discussed with somebody else before. Like it's, well, at least for me, it's watchable, but it's not a fucking good movie. If you can,
Adrian Brody does not come across as a tough guy, and there's no way a Predator would be defeated by him. I'm just saying.
Yeah. So I said like, not a good movie, but I liked it.
But like Predators, yes.
Yeah. It definitely had like a potential that it didn't live up to, but as I said, I liked it.
One thing that frustrated me a lot about that movie, I'm talking about Predators still, is the fact that the Yakuza guy takes out his sword and is about to fight the Predator, and they don't show anything, and I'm just like, fuck you guys. I want to see a whole long fight sequence.
No, they did do show a fight thing.
It was 2 seconds.
Oh yeah, 2. Yeah, it should have been longer, but yeah.
I think he would have lasted longer than that. It was very upsetting.
Yeah.
Anyways, I really don't have anything else to say about these.
No, movies. Yeah. So watch Monsters Inc. Monsters University is okay if you want to complete the series, do it. And
Monsters University.
Yeah, it was worth it. And Monster Squad. Yeah, if you can't find it, don't spoiler.
Exactly. I absolutely agree with you. Like, Monster Squad is not a movie I'm going to be like, oh my god, you got to watch it. It's part of your childhood. Blah blah blah. No. You're good.
Yeah, going to this movie, I was like, how the fuck did I not watch this movie? I'm like, after I watched it, I'm like, okay, this is how I didn't watch this movie.
Yes. And it's fine. It's acceptable. Because even me, like I think I said, watching it today, I was just like, what is wrong with you, Tracy? Your child brain was stupid. Like, come on.
Which goes back to like children are stupid.
Exactly, right? My brain wasn't properly developed, couldn't do it, blah, blah, blah. I get it. But yeah, Monsters Inc., Monsters University, just fine. Have a look. It's worth a watch. Well, Adam, thank you so much for coming back on this episode with me.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, we'll have you back. Well, that's it for this episode of Off My Shelf. Until next time, you can follow along on Instagram and Twitter at ohmyshelf, or you can send an email to ohmyshelf@gmail.com. On the next episode, we'll be talking about Mystery Men and Ocean's 11. Hope you'll be here to listen.
$10 he shorts it.